Hello and welcome to another episode of Ex Novo. We're at session 2 this time. Most of our party can be found on board the SFC Luoyang in the middle of the South China Sea. But for the moment, we're going to cut to a new addition to the party. So, let's get started. You are awake. Pain shoots back into your head as you squint, seeing first a distant light shining from a small wreath of blue LEDs, hanging unceremoniously from a cable that drapes down from the ceiling. You groan and instinctively try to rub at your temples, reminded that your hands are bound behind you. In the dim light, you can see that you are inside some sort of warehouse. The shelves are empty, their steel frames still nailed to the floor and covered in dust and rust. It's hard to see more than a few feet in front of you, but the glowing lights of your AR info link still hover at the edges of your vision, bright as ever, gracefully informing you that you are not connected to the internet. Moments pass in silence as you think back to what has happened. 3 men, dressed in black uniforms and matching wide-brimmed hats, grabbed you off the streets of Hong Kong. They didn't tell you who they were, only what they wanted. Tell us where your friends are and we'll let you go. It seems they already know about the Yakuza American meeting you had arranged, and most of the passengers on board. Then they put a bag over your head, put you on a plane, and handed you off to someone that doesn't speak a word of English, or Mandarin for that matter. Your thoughts are suddenly interrupted by an incoming call popping up in the top left of your view. There's no graphic, no number, and the name reads Private Caller. Someone must still be using the old cellular tree. Do you take the call?
You know what? Considering the circumstances, I'm kind of lenient. It might be a private number, but I'm willing to go for it.
You can hear crackling through the static a voice on the other end of the line. It doesn't sound familiar, but he speaks with a thick Russian accent. "Who is this?" the voice says.
I'm not too sure. You're the one calling me.
"Is this you, Bertan? There's not much time."
Yes, carry on.
"There's no network access to your info link, but there's a truck outside that's automated. They've got a large propane tank on the east side of the facility. I can crash the truck into it to create a distraction if you can find a way out of there. Or, if you prefer, I can drive the truck into the wall of the building you're being held in, but you won't have much time to get away. And if you run, you might never find out who did this to you. Which will it be?"
Option A.
"Alright then. Try and find a way out there as soon as you can. I'll crash the truck on your signal. Stay safe, Bertan." Caller goes quiet.
Guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to get out of my current predicament.
Your hands are bound behind you, but you can walk around the warehouse. You can only see about 5 feet in front of you with the LED lights. But if you'd like, you can explore the room.
What type of binding is behind me? I can't do the little escape trick, can I?
They feel like plastic handcuffs.
Okay. Well, what type? You said lots of rusty bits and all that for this warehouse, so that might show that there's jagged edges somewhere.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and make a perception search roll?
Excellent. You can explain to me how to do a die roll in this system, because I don't know.
Everything is 3d6. Your sheet should tell you approximately what your perception that you have to roll against is. You want to roll that number or lower. Lower rolls are good in GURPS.
Okay. I rolled exactly the right number.
Okay. With a little fiddling, you inch up against one of the empty shelves, and the rusted sheet metal cuts into the side of your wrist, but you're able to free yourself.
I'll give the signal for the guy to do his thing then.
Okay. For a moment, you don't hear anything. And then in the distance, you can hear a large explosion rocking through the walls of the facility. The sheet metal that hangs over the front of the doorway shakes in its grooves. Now is your opportunity.
Well, I'm assuming there's people around, or is any kind of register that there are other people in the building at the moment? You know, shout or, "Oh my god, what the fuck was that?"
You don't hear the sound of any people next to you, but it doesn't mean they're not there. However, from outside the facility, you can hear the fierce pounding of boots against concrete as they presumably are running towards the explosion and away from you.
Okay, well, I'll make my way the opposite direction. Hopefully If there's any kind of storage things, I might need to scrounge up a couple of random tools while I'm at it.
Okay.
What,
Carry on. Give me a second perception search roll.
Failed.
It seems that all the shelves in the facility are completely empty of everything but dust. From everything that you can tell in the dim light, the facility hasn't been used in quite a while.
Well, I guess I'll improvise something else later.
You can see another shaft of light in the distance. It seems to be coming from underneath the door.
Sneaky. Over to the door, check if there's somebody behind the door on the opposite side.
You won't need to roll in this case. As you approach the door, you can see that it's one of those, it's got a thin, rectangular shaft that can see out the outside, which unfortunately has wires running through the center of the glass. You won't be able to break through to get outside. If you try the door, it's got a steel, cold-feeling circular knob. It's quite locked.
And this is why I was trying to find some kind of tools or something to improvise, because I could go and try and make a lockpick out of it. But what is, if it's got wires and going through it and everything, but what is actually on the other side of it?
As you look out across the facility, you can see a roaming dirt field and what looks in the distance to be pieces of an abandoned plane. It's quite old. You can see smoke rising on the right-hand side of your vision, and a number of small figures appear to be standing around it. There doesn't seem to be anyone closer to the door.
Okay. I'll have to go back and find something I can use as a makeshift picklock. Unless the door's actually unlocked, because I didn't actually check that.
Okay. Give me an IQ roll.
Success.
Success.
Oh, I fail.
Your reason that with the... Oh, you fail?
Right. Unless you count it as single-minded.
I'll count it as single-minded in this situation. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, success.
All right. You reason that you will be able to break through the glass if you just ram your shoulder against it hard enough. It's not particularly sturdy. Of course, you won't be able to actually get anything out of it, but the wire that holds the glass there doesn't seem particularly strong. You might be able to do something with that wire, if you can unravel it.
You know, I'm starting to feel like I'm in one of those click and point adventures.
I don't know what would have given you that idea.
Okay. I don't want to do a re-roll of trying to search for more stuff since I already did that, so I'll take the improvise some wire route.
Okay. You ram... Actually, give me a strength roll. So just roll 3d6 and tell me what your strength score is.
My strength score is 10, I got 11.
Alright. You hear a shattering noise as equal parts of glass end up inside and outside the warehouse you now find yourself in. You look out through the porthole and you can't see that the guards have noticed anything that has happened so far. The wire is hanging in one piece in the top left-hand side. You think you might be able to spin off part of it.
I shall do so.
Alright. The wire is very firm and tough in your hands. You're not used to this kind of labor. It takes some doing and some irritation as the wire slowly spins apart, and you think you have a small enough piece to work the lock.
Time to work the lock.
Okay. You go to work on the lock and realize this isn't as easy as it is in the movies. It's going to take you some time to get through the door. And with that, we're going to cut away. Back on the Luoyang forward deck. Let me get rid of this picture here. Back on the Luoyang forward deck, smoke rises from the forward deck of the ship. 5 dead bodies and 1 unconscious lies at your feet at the bottom of the stairs. You can see waves moving underneath the ship as they slowly start to build. The ship is rotating and turning slowly in the water, when suddenly one humongous wave rises up underneath the ship, and the ship tilts sideways as you struggle to hold on. And then it comes to rest at the bottom and straightens out. One of the crew members in the distance starts shouting. You can't quite hear what he's saying from here. over to you.
Did that large wave that just knocked? Is there something submerged under the water? Is that a reasonable assessment?
If you have a seamanship, you can roll it. Otherwise, roll against your IQ.
Okay, boys and girls, let's see. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that goes under my IQ.
Okay. You don't get any kind of sense that the ship was rubbing up against anything, only that before now the ship had been angled straight, so it was moving with the waves in a much more smooth motion, and something has turned the ship. It could just be, inertia has turned the ship sideways, and that hasn't happened during the entire trip so far.
Sasori is going to calmly wipe his sword on excising the blood that had been placed there when he decapitated the chap in question at the bottom of the stairs. He's then going to pick up the head of the decapitated man and, using his hair, attach it to his belt, because I'm going to rack up my kills for this in true samurai fashion.
All right.
And he's going to calmly walk back up, blood casually dripping down his leg, as he looks to the others and says, "I believe it is time that we go to the command deck."
Osmi will nod in agreement. He's been spending the last minute pulling various components to build his shotgun out of his smuggling compartments. So he gets her all put together. You mean to make a roll or anything, BR?
Nope, no roll necessary for that. You're out of combat.
Alright.
You hear the sounds of gunfire in the distance. They seem to be coming from underneath the hold. You make your way over to the bridge. There you can see the crewman on the deck looking out, shouting something. It's easier to hear now. He sees you coming and quiets down. "How are you, sir? Have you been hit?"
Sasori, give me a report.
"Well, the deck is clear for now, but I can't quite tell what's going on underneath the hold. Something seems to be wrong with the ship's automatic navigation systems, though. We shouldn't have taken that last wave like that."
Hey, where's the captain?
"I have no idea, sir. I haven't seen him since this event began."
Are
Wow.
we in the command control center?
You're on the bridge of the ship, which is, there's the flat deck, and then over at the left there's that part that raises up and overlooks it. That's where you are. There is you can see inside the room, which is covered in white. There's a number of screens and panels displayed, but only a single crew member is there, and 2 more are dead on the floor. There is a steering column in the middle of the bridge, but upon closer examination it appears to be purely decorative.
Oh, so there's no way to steer it from this part of the ship, actually?
It's all computer controlled.
Ugh. I have vehicle boat, but if there's no controls in this thing, it's kind of useless, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's only useful for seeing out over the ocean and the deck of the ship.
Alright, I'll turn to one of the crew members, is there a way to steer this boat manually?
Well, there was before, but the controls in the back room aren't working anymore.
Is it just right in the same area there? Like, can I take a look at it?
Yeah, you can take a look at the ship's controls in the bridge.
Okay. I'll do a quick mechanics roll on it.
It's difficult to make sense of what exactly is happening, but there are lots of general warnings going off. You can tell, for example, that the ship is taking on water in the forward bay, but the bilge pumps are working and seems to be keeping the ship afloat for now.
Are our communications still being blocked?
You can try talking over your info link, but as you do, no response comes back, and the crewman outside goes like this to his head to indicate that he didn't hear you over the line.
Is a ship this age, is there any old radio technology?
You can try searching the bridge if you would like.
What is a search roll?
It's a perception search roll. It should be just the default perception that's written on the top of your sheet.
Yep, I succeed.
Okay. You do find an old ship's horn in which a whistling sound can be made to signal people, but it doesn't look like you can actually communicate using it.
Hmm.
Usually everything is done through the ship's onboard navigation and intercom system. That might still be working.
Where is that located?
There's a button on one side of the panel on the bridge. It's labeled red and encased in a glass container and says announcements.
I'm gonna smash the glass. I assume it's a smash glass, or is it a lift glass?
It's a lift glass.
Okay.
You can smash it anyway if you'd like.
Yes, frustration. Fudunk!
Give me a strength roll.
Okay. With all of the abilities I have to hit things, this is somewhat pointless.
Never underestimate the power of dice to screw you over.
Yes, Bertrand, I smash the thing.
Well, you succeed on your strength roll, but you don't necessarily smash it. It's like I said, it's not designed to be smashed. So what happens is you hit it, I'm assuming with, say, the hilt of your blade.
Yes, let's go with that.
You're not using, like, your knuckles on this, right? Because that's a different
No.
story. Okay. As you smash it with the hilt of your blade, you can see the glass actually kind of balloons out and sinks into the paneling, and then slides off and meekly clatters on the ground. It doesn't shatter.
Oh. Shatterproof glass. Anyway. In that case, I'm going to press the big red button, because, you know, we all want to press the big red button.
Oh, sounds over that ancient whistle that you saw on the bridge, indicating that you're now ready to speak.
It would seem as though we have unwanted visitors aboard my ship. Soldiers of the Sumeragi Kai, for each scalp you bring to me of an enemy soldier, I will reward you 100-fold your normal pay. Also, Also, to my enemies, know that this will be remembered.
I assume that this is just a ship, just to be heard on board the ship. I didn't just say that, like, out into the universe.
It would seem likely.
Excellent. I'm going to look at Asami and I can never remember Becca's character's name. What is it?
Anfisa.
Or something like that. Anfisa. Right. Can somebody make a roll to see why they would what they could want below deck? That might be a good roll. Why are they below deck?
Oh, yeah, that could be insight. I'm pretty sure insight is a skill.
Can
You may
she
also
do it
substitute it with psychology or
the soldier?
You could try
tactics
soldier.
roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey Anthony,
Commencing.
roll some dice.
Commencing likely failed attempt to roll to avoid killing some fucker. Sorry. For fuck's sake.
Just can't help himself.
3d6, right?
And you might
36.
want to turn on your webcam so we can actually see it.
Oh, right. I'm actually trying to do it on the D20 thing. I'll do it on their stream. Because
Yes.
I'm adult. Only I get to say that. Total is 10, which is exactly the number.
Actually,
Okay.
you get a 12.
What?
You do it on a 12 because it's your int plus 2, or it's your IQ plus 2, the skill.
It says on the sheet, relative level for soldier 10.
Either way, you succeeded. Carry on.
Oh,
Yeah, you did
okay.
succeed with that. So, you're able to reason that anybody who would want to attempt to take over the ship through shock and awe would make their way immediately to the most critical parts of the ship, which are below deck. It seems you are suspicious that the satchel charge that was placed on the forward deck might have been used as a diversion. Not only are there critical access areas to the ship below deck, directly below your feet actually, on the rear part of the ship, but also many of the key personnel have their cabins there.
Okay, how many of the security forces of any sort are on board, are within sort of visual range of me?
There's only one crewman, and no one else is left on the deck besides the people who were involved in the last encounter, so I would say maybe 3 others that are sort of lounging around behind you and waiting for orders, and they're looking to you for those orders.
Right, in that case, assuming I am armed, and assuming they are also armed, I will draw my weapon and walk over, tapping each of them on the shoulder, say complete silence, put finger to lips to gesture shut up, then have them follow me as we make our way as quickly as possible to the nearest access to the below deck section.
Okay. You
I
pull
think we're all
aside.
going below deck, boys and girls.
Yeah, I'm assuming the rest of you are following. If not, now's the time to let me know.
Going hunting.
Alright. As you pull aside the wooden slats in the rear section of the ship, another stairway, similar to the one you came in through, is revealed. The sounds of gunfire get stronger and stronger as you near the rear deck. And if you give me a moment on Roll20, I will reveal this to you.
Oh, the gunfire.
You pass through the poop deck uneventfully, but as you go down another 4 stairs, you can tell that right outside the room there's a large gun battle taking place.
Yet oddly relaxing with that lovely, calming, sea, pure sound effects.
There we go. So you guys will have to scroll to this location and Roll20 manually, but it is further down to the bottom and left. So this is towards the rear of the ship, not far from where the bathhouse room is, in fact, and the very bowels of the ship. There is only a single entrance along the main gangplank in the center of the room, and as I've said before, the sounds of gunfire can be heard from inside. The
Whereabouts
infantryman
was it, Bertrand? Sorry.
Scroll down and to the left from where you were before. I'll also show you in the screen sharing that I'm using on the DJ account if you want to click on him.
Okie dokie.
So BR will show us what he's looking at. Yep.
Ah, the main deck aft.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And where did we come down?
You came down from directly above. You can see the stairwell at the top there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where you are.
Okay.
And I will move your tokens now.
Sweet.
Or you can do it if you prefer. One, two. Oh, don't want to hide you. Come back. There we go. 2, 3, 4. We're gonna leave the people that are not here today in the bridge.
I honest to God misread that. It says piping, but since you said poop deck, I honest to God thought it said pooping. I was just like, what?
Poop deck, no jokes. I almost wrote that on the map.
Which would in itself have been a joke.
Anthony, congratulations. The obvious has been stated.
You're very welcome, Evan.
Anthony, your character's looking really pretty today.
Silence, Peter. I will belittle Evan, but I will make everyone else regret it. You can't see my face, but I'm squinting angrily.
I believe you.
Good.
So I've
Right,
put...
so we're looking at main deck aft, are we?
Yes, I put Anfisa relatively towards the front. Those are the stairways leading down. You've got that one gangplank, and then over to the left is the entrance.
Ah, here we are. What was the security complement aboard this ship, Bertrand?
There are approximately 15 crew, but only, I want to say, about 6 actual capable fighters.
Okay. As long as we keep hearing gunfire, that's a good thing, because it means there's still resistance going on.
Good point.
You say that, and now it's going to stop the gunfire.
God damn it, Bertrand! Oh, cool. I can still move myself. Whee! Getting a bit close there. Yeah.
Alright. If we're below decks and we're looking for vital areas of the ship, does Anfisa know what we're looking for, where we're going to? Are we heading to, like, the engines? Computer area?
I would assume that she would. Anthony, beyond the rooms that you're walking into, that's the crew area. The first officer's cabin is nearby, the first engineer's cabin, and beyond that, all the way towards the rear of the ship is the single entrance to the engine room.
Okay.
I think we're going to go to the engine room, to be fair. If people wanted to cripple the ship, that's where I'd go.
Yeah, go there. So, gesture with hand again, doing the everyone be fucking quiet. Then lead the way, gun partially raised, in case there is a need to put a bullet through someone.
Give me another soldier roll, if you would, please.
Okay. 3d6. And that's an 8.
Against a 10, was it?
Against a 10, yeah.
Okay. The 3 people who were with you before, and I need to move those over as well. One senior ranking soldier, I should say, and 2 ordinary rank Yakuza. 2 of them are carrying grenades. And Asmi appears to be carrying a shotgun. The weapons that your companions are carrying might be something you want to consider as you plan a strategic entrance.
I very much doubt we want to use grenades in the engine room. That would probably be a bad plan.
No, but you can probably toss one near where you are without it getting anywhere near the engine room.
Actually, yeah, what sort of way is there into the engine room? Is it like a corridor?
There is a very small, very narrow corridor, it's still being a ship, that opens out into a longer hallway that has a series of cables and computer digital equipment sort of pressed up against the bulkhead, and everything has sort of been crammed in because it used to be a much more traditional oil tanker, so there's not a properly built room for all the computer electronics.
And beyond that is the engine room itself.
Yeah, the computers are crammed on top of a hatch that you can open up that actually leads to the engine underneath. It's a sort of... the engine has been upgraded. It's already paid a lot of money to do that. It's a more modernized sort of ramjet than the kind of propeller system you'd traditionally see on a ship like this.
Okay, what sort of grenades are they?
One of them is very clearly tear gas, and the other is a traditional fragmentation grenade. good for clustered groups.
Okay, in that case, I will call the one with the two people with grenades over, and then as quietly impossible instruct the first one to open up the hatch and drop the tear gas grenade down and retreat as quickly as possible. Then
Okay.
everyone back is then to back. Basically, this is the instruction I'm giving them. Everyone is to then back around and get away from the corridor. And then the person with the frag grenade, once we're clear, is to count to 5 and throw the frag grenade so it is near, but preferably not going into the hatch. The logic being the shrapnel will hopefully bounce out and ricochet without actually, which should prevent anyone charging up without it directly doing a significant amount of damage to the engine.
I'm going to stop you before you actually say that, and let you know that the hatch is actually inside the engine room, which is all the way on the rear of the room. Now, it's possible that if you wanted to, they could just rush into the room and do exactly what you said and go all the way to the other side, but you don't know everything that's in there yet. So you might want to think twice.
Let me sneak ahead and take a look.
Alright.
Assuming you're using stealth, give me a stealth roll with any bonuses you might have from your equipment. I think you have you have a thermoptic camo, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Not
No,
currently.
that was Justin. Excuse me.
Nope, I just have 16 is the threshold. And
You're
I've
rolling
got 8.
Okay. Then you succeed mightily. No one in the room beyond is able to hear you as you creep forward towards the entrance and peer inside. I'm just going to reveal a little bit more of the area for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, jog my memory, did you keep your thermal vision?
I believe all I have is night vision, rank 2.
Okay, just night vision. Alrighty.
Yep.
Not much good here. The lights are still working at least.
Yep.
So you are able to see, so let me ping on the map. You're looking through, oh, that's not working. Let's try it over here. Yeah, that's the door that you're looking through right there. It's a recreation room. It has a lot of couches, and it is surprisingly well kept and surprisingly neat. Everything is put away on the shelves, which, if any of you have been on a ship before, that's a first.
I love how it says non-smoking recreation room, because they had to be so specific about this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no smoking in this rec room. This is for the officers, you know, and the captain and others. I'll reveal a little bit more of the hallway to you that you can you can't really see much further than that, but you can see a stairwell leading further down. You're not quite sure where. You can see entrances to more rooms over here. You're not quite sure of the contents. What else can you see? And you can kind of see up here. And your vision stops there. However, you can tell that the gunfire is concentrated most closely up. Where is it? I've got to move my other view here. It's concentrated most closely up here, if you can see that against the black.
Okay. So up in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will, since it looks relatively clear there, I will head back to the guys and tell them there's a fight going on and bring them to the door.
Okay.
Okay. Drawing katana and flamer, because flamer for the win.
Any of the rest of you want to ready your weapons? Might be a good idea.
Yep.
Yup.
Yeah, ready.
Okay. So describe to me how you guys want to go into the room. You want to make any use of the grenades or anything like that?
I'll sneak up to the door and, like, get a quick visual
Okay.
to see what we're looking at, because if I don't want to throw the grenade into the last remaining security forces.
Right. I am going to move over a bunch of icons. Just give me a second.
Should we move ourselves over there as well, just so we can, you know...
Yeah, just move yourselves to wherever your character is standing at this moment in time.
Justin, you're here in spirit.
I am here, in spirit.
Let's say, British Tony, do you know how to move your icon around on the D20?
I don't
stuff?
even know where the hell my icon is.
Heck.
It's why
it's-
I've been asking for descriptions, because I can't figure it out.
It is labeled Anfisa. You're still on the stairway, and I've granted you access to move it. It's sort of bluish, steel-colored. So I can ping it on the map if you would like. It's up there. Did you see that?
Have
I
you
don't
gotten the
think
roll
he
20
did.
to work, Anthony? The map and such.
I mean, it says that he's logged in, I think.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay. Okay, so I am. Here we are, Anfisa. Okay, and where should I? So we're down here in this
Yep.
corridor.
And
We're over
head
here
left.
next to...
Left. Just scoot right across the duty mess.
By the way, because we're not stealthing, we're just walking, does the guy on the inside of the duty mess see us? Because there was a guy in there.
I just moved him, but basically, if you want him to still be there, he can be somebody who is... He's an ordinary crewman, no rank whatsoever, responsible for the running of the ship, and he is cowering behind a chair.
Yeah, I want him brought outside, not necessarily to fight, but because if he's responsible for the running of the ship, he might know the running of the ship better than we do.
We'll put him back. There you go. He's right next to you.
So basically, does he know, like, is he an engineer or anything useful? Like, can you tell me how badly damaged my ship is when we find out?
He is an ordinary seaman, not to be confused with an able seaman, which means he was probably recruited in the last 6 months with no particular skills. So he's just labor. He keeps the ship clean. We can roleplay it, though, if you would like. I think his connection might have died.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue.
Alright, so I'm gonna peek inside the room and see what's going on.
Okay. You rolled so good on your stealth, I'm almost inclined not to make you roll again. But I have to do it. I have to be mean. Roll against your stealth as you try to quietly open the hatch.
13 out of 16.
Okay. Oh, you're so good at sneaking. Gotta keep your eye on that guy. He's shifty. Alright. As you peek into the room on the right, you can see another rec room. What you can see is even more highly stylized than before. There's at least one person who's facing perpendicular to the door. He doesn't see it open. And he is firing his gun at the far end of the room. He's wielding a steel-colored SMG. You can tell he's using a sort of unusual bullet firing from the weapon, because the report is not what you would expect from this type of gun, and you know them well. And he's just completely ogged up. He has a hood over his head, and he has all kinds of tack vision staring around through the eyes. He's not wearing military grade. What he's wearing is not necessarily illegal. It's sort of what you would expect a modern day cop in California to be wearing.
Huh.
Since he can't see you, just take an aim at him, take a turn, and blow his fucking head off.
Well, I was about to say, I'll just creep up behind him and knock out.
Mm-hmm.
Choke him out.
You can totally do that.
There's a skill for it and everything.
I've got Brawl, so I figure that should do the trick.
Okay. I'm gonna roll against his perception. We're gonna do a quick contest here. So again, you're forced to roll your stealth.
Yep.
And it's probably gonna be a higher margin of success than his. Okay. He succeeds against his perception by 2. How much do you succeed against your stealth by?
5.
Okay. You win the quick contest. No surprise there. So, you may strike out against him if you have any kind of bonus to your striking. You said you were going to choke him out, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then to do that, do you have any kind of striking or unarmed combat skills?
Brawl.
Brawl will do it. Okay. Roll against your brawl.
Alright. Double check. Oh, that's nice. We have a 7-point success, if there's any contested.
Oh, that definitely matters. Okay. So you, with expert skill, you sneak up behind him and bending up from the waist, you raise up and lock your hands firmly against his jaw. He gurgles a little bit, but he doesn't make much of a noise. You manage to pin his weapon underneath your elbow and loll back quietly, coiling your legs around the front of his legs, and he's completely pinned, and it doesn't sound like he's getting out of that hold anytime soon. Do the rest of you want to do anything before I roll to see if he gets KO'd? Because that will take a turn.
Micah, since I have wonder if are you just holding him in place?
Yeah, I've got like an arm up and another arm wrapped around his gun, so he's going out soon.
I was gonna say, are we able to enter the room and do an action, or how do you want to do it, BR?
It's up to you. It will take at least a turn for the guy to get knocked out. I'm going to roll to see if the other guys in the room notice him. And you guys can either wait and see if he manages to choke out the guy silently, or you can try and rush into the room and surprise the others. It's up to you.
I tell you what, let's just go right up to the door here, just a little bit away, so we can intercede next turn if anything needs to be interceded on.
Mm-hmm.
So just go up to the door and wait and see what happens.
Okay. So you can see the rest of the room now there, Tony.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to roll to see if you get noticed. Nope. Alright, now I have to roll against the man who's choking's health to see if he falls unconscious. He does. Okay, so you can. He's gripping against your hands, and his grip slowly releases, and his fingers loosen and then eventually fall limply by his side. Now, you know from experience that he's not going to stay unconscious for long as soon as you release your hold. So what would you like to do next?
I will probably just divest him of weapons, and then slowly drag him back to the door.
Okay.
I'll just bring him back over here, and I'm assuming the security guys will have some sort of plastic handcuffs or just slit his throat, whatever they want to do with him.
Yeah. At least one of the major NPCs you've gotten here, I just pinged him over there. It does have a stun baton.
Okay.
I was just going to cut his head off, but because that's apparently my thing now.
Apparently it is.
I will gesture that there's 2 more inside, and I will bring my shotgun out to start rock and rolling.
Are they both within grenade distance or no? Bertrand, I don't know how big...
You could hit them with the grenades, but you would also hit your own people, more than likely.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that in this case, let's just go in all guns blazing, because they're being pinned down on the other side, so we'll essentially take them in the flank.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we've got our initiative order. Let me dig it out here. So first up at the top of the round is Sasori.
Okay. He's going to just calmly walk. How far can we walk again, Bertrand? It's 6 squares?
It's up to your basic speed, so I think in your case that's 7.
It's basic move.
Basic move, excuse me.
Yep.
Okay. Calmly walk up to at the on across from him and light him on fire. And I succeed to hit.
So
well, I succeed to hit him. I'm not sure if he has to dodge, I assume.
You can take a move and attack action, but you do take certain penalties if you do that. So you can either move and then try and get off a more accurate shot, or you can move and attack and hope for the best.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to move and attack?
What's the move and attack penalty?
It is either -4 or the bulk of your weapon, whichever is higher.
I love how even when my internet goes screwy, I can still hear the random.
Gunshots.
So yeah, and walk and fire. I still hit him.
Let's see. What are you rolling against? You're using a flamethrower.
Well, hand flamer.
Hand flamer. So maybe it uses your pistol skill.
Which
Small
is
arms, maybe.
I'm not sure what it uses, but all I know
All right,
is
tell me what gun skills you do have.
Hang on. Crap. This is the moment I remember I forgot to buy gun skill, so I have no gun skill. Crap.
Okay, would you like to try and use a second weapon then? Maybe your katana?
In that case, yeah, I'm just going to hang on. Let me just go back to where I was on the thing. In that case, he's just going to he was standing here, so you can run a greater distance in this game than you can walk, can't you?
It's a little different in GURPS. If you move your maximum the first turn, the second turn you can begin sprinting. So you've moved the furthest that you can.
Actually, that's if I alter my move just so I can actually because I can't actually shoot for shit, that will be my move. So he's just going to step through the door with his katana in hand and move like this up the wall at the person, not making any stealth or whatever. So I'll be able to attack him next turn.
Okay.
And that's me.
All right.
Trusting in my armor and amazing reflexes.
Next up in the initiative order is Hawkins.
All right. I will take my ready shotgun and blast at. How do you ping?
You just click and hold it down.
That guy.
All right, good choice. Roll against your gun's, I think it's rifle skill.
With the shotgun, yes.
Okay.
So 8, 14. I think that will still hit. Yep. That is a hit.
What is your margin?
16.
Does the shotgun have a rate of fire? Is it like double-barreled or anything?
Yes. It has a rate of fire. Let me see. It's a close assault weapon, so it has 10.
Okay, so you only get one hit, but go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. 4 dice plus 4, and then it has PI plus plus.
Yeah, I have not forgotten.
Okay. I did not know. As long as you know what that means, that's one of us then. Alright, 9, 10, 11?
11 damage, okay.
Plus 4 is 15.
Ah, okay. Very key piece of information there.
Yep.
So, I am going to first attempt to roll to dodge for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he just succeeds. So the buckshot slams into the wall against him and ricochets across the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's your turn. Anthony, you're up.
Okay, let's see. I'm at the back, so as far as I can tell,
Just move.
yeah, I will just. I can't even fully see the squares, so I'm struggling to guess here.
Okay, so
I'll just
want
go
BR
into.
to move you up as far as you can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it
And
too
then
zoomed out for you, Anthony?
Pardon?
Is it too zoomed out? Is that why you can't see him?
It's actually zoomed in. I can't. I still can't see Saldol.
Okay, but you know how to adjust the zoom and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can just try dragging it around and seeing where it snaps. As long as you can remember your original location, that's fine.
Right.
Otherwise,
So
if you click on your portrait and you just press the up, down, left, right arrows, that works as well.
Okay.
There you
So
go.
in that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and is
Yeah, you have 6 movement, Anthony.
yeah. I'm just trying to work out whether or not. So that's the maximum I could move,
Yes.
and the enemy are in this room up here, which is marked the office non-smoking recreation room.
Yep.
Okay, so that'll just be as much as I can do for now, and I take it I can draw a weapon while running?
No, you cannot. But you
Alright.
did give some language about
We all
readying your
ready our
weapons.
Oh yeah, good point. Already had one. So yeah.
So you just have to. So that's your turn, but I'm just going to tell you to make sure, while we're waiting for the next person to act, that you take a look at the weapons that you do have and decide which ones you want to use.
Okay.
I'm going to be asking for a lot of things like type of damage, rate of fire, and all of that. Okay. So next up is I wrote down Justin. You're not here. Okay. So going with tradition of being nice, the good guys will act before the bad guys. Good guys in scare quotes here. So we have an ordinary crewman, weak at the knees, but knowing that his boss needs to be defended and he will probably be scalped if he doesn't rush in. Moves 1. Let's see here. 1.
I did. How was it I phrased it last time? Yes, you have killed a man. I will send a ham to your widow.
And these guys will move up here. There we go, that's them. Now, it's the bad guys.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. 1, 4, 6. He hits. How much damage does he hit for? 11. How much armor is the crewman wearing? None. The crew member will attempt to dodge. Crew member fails to dodge. That is a dead crewman. Let's see here.
No! Send a ham to his widow.
Splat. Alright, so he falls backwards from his crouching position behind the seat as blood splashes over the back of the ship and he crumples into a heap. The second guy over here is a little bit more worried about the angry Pakistani that just shot at him, and he's gonna...
One would be, you know.
See, where's he gonna... I'm actually gonna have him move.
Apologize to the entire sovereign nation of Pakistan for our racial stereotyping.
I'm gonna have him move and attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And he's gonna be aiming at Asmi. Let me double check the range real quick. So you are 12 squares away from each other, so he will take a -1 for this. He's going to spray at you with his SMG. And 11. Okay. He misses. Woo! So you missed him, and he misses you.
Yep.
Now, you hear footsteps coming from the rear part of the room here, and I'm going to reveal a little bit more area to you. So, yonder, coming from this door, you hear a commotion as more people move forward. So let's see, 1, 5 there. Gonna move him. Move this guy. This guy. Yeah.
Does anyone else think that that's a perfect thing, the perfect place to throw a grenade? I'm just saying.
Indeed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if what happens here is if these guys end up engaging your NPCs first. And that's going to be...
Anthony. You know.
Sorry, Evan, you roboed out there a little bit. What did you say?
Anthony is still back there.
True. Didn't think it was even worth mentioning. Okay, so
Thanks
that's
for the confidence boost, BR.
You're welcome. You're playing a combat beast. You'll be all right. You got plenty of meat in front of you.
And a clamshell.
And the total inability to know what my weapons do, because no one wrote them on the sheet.
That was my.
I am currently having to rapidly scramble through books to find the appropriate stats.
Okay, check out the firearms section under ranged weapon and just give yourself. An
I've got
assault
the
rifle.
yeah, I've got the stats written down for assault rifle, so I can tell you what those are.
Yeah, I'm having to go. I'm basically looking at the light support weapon, which seems to be the closest thing I can come to, because it says light machine gun.
Okay. Yeah, an SMG would fit the bill too.
Does it go to the
All
top of the objective then, Bertrand?
Yep, it is your turn.
1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna hit him with my sword.
Okay.
Can I make a cold shot?
You absolutely can. Do you know the rules?
I do not. This is why I was asking. I'm not sure what they are.
There is a diagram in the back of optional rules that tells you which location of the body you're aiming for and just applies basically a straight penalty to hit, but you get additional bonuses if you do connect. I will say that you are moving and attacking, however, so stacking the two you might want to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Could suck.
Do you still want to make a cold shot?
Yeah, I get a lot of bonuses, thankfully, for swinging, as myself and Bertrand found out the other night when we were checking out exoskeletons. What area of the book am I looking at, Bertrand, to find my penalties?
It should be in the back of Combat Light, if I recall correctly. I'll see if I can find it. Hit location tables, 552 through 555.
5, 52. Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Bertrand gonna. So it's a -4 for running and for moving and hitting, and then apply another debuff. Yeah.
It is either okay. So it's a range attack where you use the buff. Melee attack, it's flat -4, and your adjusted skill can't exceed 9, which is a big and. You're rolling against a 9.
What do you mean?
Meaning,
roll
even
9
if your
or
skill
more.
is 16, you're not rolling against 16. You're rolling against 9.
Okay, fuck it. In that case, we'll just have a raw to hit roll. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I hit him.
Very lucky. All
Quite
right.
nicely, actually.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage.
How do you roll damage with a melee weapon? Because it's weird.
Well, it should be written. Oh, yeah, it's your strength. That's right. So, what is your character's strength?
with his bionic, with his
With your
Sorry.
robot crotch?
Sorry, you cut out again, bud.
Hmm?
I'm also just going to roll for the guy to dodge in the meanwhile. He successfully dodges, so don't worry about the damage for now. But in general, how it works is there's a swing and thrust table underneath strength that you can look at while you're waiting, and based on how high your strength is, it would be a swing in your case. That's how much damage you do. And you might want to write that down on your character sheet for easier reference.
Oh, okay, cool.
It might have something already written in there like 2T or 2S, which means 2 times the swing. So, I'll help you with that next time. Hawkins, you're up.
Alright, how far was that guy away from me when he shot?
13.
13, which is how many per square?
That's a range penalty of -1 for you.
Okay.
Depending, of course, on the range, the effective range of your weapon. With a shotgun, it probably has more.
It's got 100, so I don't know.
Yeah, the realistic shotgun, not video game shotgun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so every square is 5 meters then?
Every square is a meter or a yard.
Oh, a meter?
Mm-hmm.
And the ranges are measured in meters?
Yards, but basically the same thing.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So I shouldn't have a penalty because I'm within my short range?
Except that there's the overall range penalty, so you do get the -1 for that.
Oh,
but it's
okay,
not
okay.
much.
Okay, so it's overall he's this far away and I have to roll this. Got it.
There's 2 things with range. How far they are away, that's an aiming penalty, and then
Yep.
your actual weapon's range means that the buckshot would just disperse and you would do less damage. There is, at the angle that you're firing at, however, a risk that you might hit the crewman behind him.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, then we will 1, 2, 3... We'll go there, so we've got a good angle. We'll have -4.
What's your weapon's bulk?
4, so it's the same either way.
Right, okay.
Ooh, that's a hit.
Alright. Nice. I will roll to dodge. Sorry, he succeeds again.
That'll happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it can. How you would be able to dodge buckshot, I don't know, but he manages to. He bends out of the way, and you fire at a different spot against the
That
wall once again.
Table or something. Maybe he flipped it or something.
Yeah, could be. Could be. All right, Anthony, you're up. You have a clear line of sight to the person that's coming out of the left door, but your companions are fighting on the right. So what do you do, and what do you want to order your friends to do?
Grenades.
So my friends are on the right-hand side. There's a guy coming out at the left. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn and fire my light machine gun at him.
Okay. So go ahead and roll against that light gun skill that you got.
Okay. I got a 7 against 12.
Okay. What's the rate of fire? It should be labeled ROF.
As I said, no one bothered to fill in this sheet. I'm going with the assumption it's a machine pistol.
Right.
No, it's a light machine gun.
I haven't found stats for light machine gun.
Okay.
Anthony has them there. He said it like twice.
Yeah, I have the assault carbine, which is your standard assault rifle stats here. So that one would have a rate of fire of 15.
Okay. Rate of fire 15 then, BR.
I've got to look it up real quick here. Let me see. Weapons, firearms. Here we go. Oh, right, it's the recoil that I needed.
Okay,
So,
I have that as well. It is 2.
2. Okay. So you said you rolled an 8, was it?
No, a 7.
A 7. And
And
what's your...
by the way, it's a 7 because I have the copy of your sheet here, Anthony. It's a 7 out of 15, not out of 12, because that's important. It's
Okay,
level, not relative level.
So that is...
Right.
So GURPS handles attacks in a really cool way, Anthony, if you're not familiar. With a light machine gun like this, the margin of success that you get versus the recoil of your weapon determines how many attacks that you score successfully. So you don't face that problem you get in D&D where you have to roll like 4 different times and add everything separately. It's all sort of crammed together into one roll, which makes things quite a bit faster with automatic weapons. You actually hit 5 times. So I am going to roll to dodge, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to dodge all of it.
Nope.
Dodging a machine gun. Not an easy thing to do.
So these guys are rolling really good tonight, but he does not dodge all of it, I can guarantee you that. He succeeds by a margin of 2, which means you still get 3 attacks. So that's your damage times 3. What's the damage, Tony? Or Hawkins?
It is 6d pi.
60 pi. So you get to roll 18 dice.
18 dice.
Yeah.
Yes.
18 d6s.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And watch as this guy and his children and his children's children cease to exist.
Okay, rolling my 18 d6s. 3, 7, 11, 12, 17, 22, 25, 30, 32, 35, 41, 43, 45, 50, 54, 59,
Okay,
60.
you can stop counting. He's dead.
Just had to make sure there, VR.
Yeah, he reduces 12, so he goes over the threshold. He's like at negative times 3 hit points.
Yeah, I
So-
just done 48 damage after soak, as far as I can tell.
Just gonna give him the big red X there. Okay. So his head snaps backwards as bullets riddle through his armor, piercing deep and blood splattering all over the floor as he falls down, clutching his chest.
Woo, dead guy.
Okay. Next go the good NPCs. Now, Anthony, would you like to give them any orders this time around?
Can they see anyone?
They can see 2 dead bodies, and the lead guy up here can kind of see that there's another guy sort of peering through the doorway there, and that's about it. On the left.
Okay, my orders to them are to try and skirt around and essentially try and corner the guy. And then if he attempts to fire back, to make Swiss cheese of him.
So you want them to move up and approach the doorway?
Yeah.
Do you want them to stack up on the non-open side so that they have cover, or just get as far as they can, as close as they can?
Stack up on the non-open side.
Okay. And you want them to hold there and not fire?
Not fire unless it looks to them like the guy is going to attempt to fire himself.
Okay.
In which case
Good
they
point.
can fire at will.
Okay, so they'll stack up here. Now this crewman, he is going to wander up over here and peer sheepishly in the room and start rummaging through the body because he doesn't have a weapon. Alright. Next up is the bad guys. So we'll start with the one that is kitty corner to Sasori. Ooh. So he comes to bring his pistol towards your head and you slap it away and the bullet ricochets off the ground.
I must now do something incredibly racist but incredibly meaningful.
Okay, we're gonna go for the guy behind the table now.
Hey Evan, did Senpai shoot at you?
Indeed. Now I have to stab Senpai.
Okay, so he successfully scores 1 hit against Asmi. Would you like to attempt to dodge?
Yes.
Thought you might.
We're gonna be close. Let me check here. Right on the money. So
Okay.
exactly 11.
All right. You spin out of the way as the bullet passes you to one side. That was close. All right. So we have the guys over in yonder room here. Let's see. You hear the sound of shuffling and Fiza stroke Anthony from further into the room as another fellow moves from one side to the other. Give me either a perception listening roll, for which it's the same as your perception right now because you don't have a penalty, or a soldier roll, whichever is higher.
Tony. You there?
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, there you are.
Am I needed?
Yes.
I need you to roll against either your social skill or your perception skill, whichever is higher.
Oh, foo.
He means your soldier skill, not your social skill.
Right. Social or perception, whichever is higher. That's soldier at 13.
Okay.
Alright, so 3d6 versus 13. And I got a 9.
You hear the distinct sound of a pin being removed from a grenade from further within the room.
Okay, in that case, I will scream out, "Grenade!" and proceed to jump away from the room.
Okay. It's not your
Anthony,
action yet.
hang on.
but
Better idea for you, because it'll be funnier and more thematic. There's a door right there that they're going to have to fling the grenade through now that they've unpinned it. Close the door.
Good idea. I will yell, "Grenade! Grab door!" Grabbing the door as I'm screaming "Grenade!" and slam it shut and just lean against it in a very much a finger in the gun barrel style.
Right. Okay. You will have the opportunity to do that soon. As for the rest of these bozos,
Top of the initiative, BR?
haven't finished moving for all the bad guys yet, but shortly.
Awesome.
Simmer down now.
So, this guy here, in the beautiful shades, hears the sound of a grenade being pulled from behind him, and he is going to run into the room. 1, 2... And I think he's going to stop there when he sees 3 guys and a very mean-looking Russian. I'm going to roll against his courage. It's going to be a willpower roll. He does nothing for the rest of the turn.
He froze.
Yeah, he just completely locked up. Other guy, he is actually going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back into the room. This guy will attempt to move out. 1, 2. He is going to attempt to attack the elite Yakuza in the front. He succeeds. Yakuza attempts to dodge. He fails. Alright, so this is 5d6. 10, 15. Ooh. 21, 26. 12 of that is absorbed, but the elite Yakuza is no longer looking so elite. Not dead, but severely wounded. Shock, in fact.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. Next we're up to, I believe it's round 3 with Sasori.
Gonna now hit him with my
Okay,
'Cause
you know what to do.
Let me just think for a moment. I'm going to aim for his 5 penalty.
Sorry, Evan, you cut out again. All I heard was the -5 penalty.
Oh, I said I'm aiming for his face at a -5.
Okay.
And I succeed.
Okay. He will attempt to dodge this one. He's going to try and duck low. Ooh. He fails. Roll damage against head.
Ooh.
Yay! What? Okay, where is the swing in the book, Bertrand?
It's under strength, I believe. I will look for exact.
I've got it pulled up. What is your relative strength?
Okay, because, and I clarified this, my power suit gives me +5 to swing. It actually says to swing.
Okay.
So
it's
that's
just striking, I think. I don't think it helps you.
Let me, because I read it just a little bit ago, and I could have sworn it said to swing, but I will check. Just un momento, por favor. Because once we know, then we will know forever. Forever.
Why don't you look up your exoscoot, see if you can find out how much your sword actually multiplies your swing damage by, and then Hawkins can tell you what your basic swing is based on your strength. So you're going to need those 3 things. While we're waiting for you to find that, Hawkins, why don't you go on the assumption that the dude next to Sasori is headless?
Yep. All right. I will continue to shoot into the other guy. That's a 15.
Okay.
That's still a hit.
All right.
Am I mathing? Yeah, that's 15. So that's just 1 hit.
All right. Just going to attempt to dodge. Oh, by the way, what's your effective skill that you're rolling against?
15 out of 16.
Okay. So you're rolling against a 15 because of the -1?
Why am I at a -1?
Oh, right. No, I forgot. You're actually closer now. You're not at
Yep,
13.
yep, I moved.
You are indeed right, Bertrand. So it actually modifies my my swinging, my striking with my weapon as opposed to my swing damage. However, that still means I have an effective swing of 12. With 12, well,
Alright.
that's my strength for the swing.
That is 1d plus 2.
And then apparently that's times 4 because of the microweave.
Okay.
The
And times
nanoweave.
an additional 4, I think, because you hit him in the head.
So
Also, it's got
So go
an
ahead and tell me what the
armor.
base is.
It's got an armor minus of 10 because of the swing that it is. So
Sweet
minus
Jesus.
10 from all armor.
Okay, so just tell me what the damage is, and I'll figure out the rest.
6 times 4 times 4.
so 6 times 8, 42.
Yeah.
Or 8, 48.
And he reduces 2 of that.
Ooh.
His head is sliced clean from his shoulder, so cleanly, in fact, that it actually seems to stay attached to his torso as he tries to blink for a moment, his eyes open and wide with shock, and he twists off, and then the head rolls across the room.
Bertrand, can I ask for a cool thematic moment of his head just stay there? Can I just poke it with my sword and it falls off?
Sure.
Yay!
And then he falls over. Alright, so you scored 1 hit, right, Hawkins?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage.
9, 13, 14, 15. 19 plus plus.
Whew. Okay, so that's times 2. 38 minus 12 is, yeah, very dead. Alright, so the force of the blast carries him 6 feet back until he finally slams against the side of the ship, and then slowly collapses into a heap. Apparently dead. This is a very happy crewman.
Yeah?
Yeah, over here. His knees are quivering, he's shaking, but he's muttering his thank yous.
I will nod and turn my attention.
So I do not need to send your widow a ham.
Alright, next up is Anthony, Stroke, and Fisa.
Okay. Yes, this will be the action in which, noticing the grenade, lean out, grab door, scream, grenade, and slam the door, quickly maneuvering thyself against door.
Okay.
Fully anticipating, like, people attempting to open said door.
You can't do that in a turn. You could try and order the guy in the front to do it, though. This fella. Because you can move, that's your action, and then closing the door would be another action.
Okay, in that case, I will order other guy to close door.
Okay. That's free for you. Do you want to do anything else?
Well, the yelling of grenade is a good idea, since people should really be aware of
Talking is a free action.
Yeah.
You can blow that dude up ahead. Because he's
Good
big
idea.
and smelly, and no one loves him.
Good idea. I will point machine gun at enemy. Pull trigger. Hope to kill.
Guy in the glasses or the ogged up guy further in?
Which guy has the bigger gun pointed in our direction?
The guy further in looks a bit more scary.
Him, then.
Okay.
Okay, so 3d6 versus what skill was it? It's just soldier skill. Oh wait, it's my back. It's the rifle skill, isn't it? So it's against 15.
Also, Anthony, you just roll d10s.
Did I?
Yeah.
Damn! Force of habit.
It's understandable.
Too much world of darkness.
15. Bang on the number.
Okay. So, as usual, he's going to attempt to dodge. He is not quite limber enough, and as he bends over, a trail of fire catches him. A trail of the bullet catches him in the shoulder. So, go ahead and roll damage.
Micah?
Yeah?
How many dice do I roll?
For how many shots did he hit with? Just one?
Just one, so it's 6, I think.
6 dice. Yep.
66. Jesus Christ. No, Anthony, don't roll d10s. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay. You don't hear much of a report from the shot. It's definitely left a visible indentation in the armor, but you can't see any blood or oil or anything else falling out of it. He does move a little bit with the momentum of the blow. Alright. So, next up is the gentleman you gave the order to. He is going to attempt to close the door as this guy staggers back a little bit. They are going to have a quick contest of strength to see if he can close the door while the other one tries to hold it open. So, let's see here. Good guy succeeds by 3. Bad guy. Ooh,
By the way, BR, should there not be a bonus based on the fact that the door, if it's swinging shut, it's presumably fairly hefty. So the weight of the door itself should have a factor.
I don't think so, especially considering the guy in the back can pretty much just wedge himself in between if he wanted to, so I think it kind of washes out.
Ah, fool. I had to try, gents.
Yep. No, it was a good plan. Unfortunately, the door stays open.
Ah, damn.
Oh, crap.
However, one of the crewmen on the right now has a gun, and there are 2 low-ranking Yakuza members who have yet to act, so I will roll for all 3 of them. We have a hit. We have a second hit. And we have a third hit.
Fuck you in particular!
So, I'm going to guess that the crewman on the right is going to be aiming at the guy at the glasses. The two guys here will be aiming at the guy trying to block the door, since they're interpreting that as part of your orders. So, glasses guy dodges, fails. Other guy tries to dodge, succeeds against one of them and not the other. Alright, damage time. The glasses guy is wearing a black duster over the rest of his clothes, and you hear a hard metallic clanking noise as the crewman on the right fires a pistol into his armor. As for the other two, the augmented invader, for lack of a better term, once again reels as blows ricochet off his armor. Small indentations and scratch marks are left, but it seems to be only superficial damage.
Woo-wee.
Alright. We're back up with Sasori at the top of the round. Oh, bad guys, of course. How could I forget about the bad guys?
Don't forget about them, BR.
No. Please do forget about them. Don't let them act. Please.
Right. Okay. Oh, also, there's one more thing. A compartment opens on the right-hand side at the top of the room, and it just kicked me out of Roll20, so I will ping it over here. Up here, you can see a door open behind a bookcase, and a thin, bespectacled figure pokes his head out into the room, looking very confused.
Who is it?
You're not sure.
So
But
he's not one of mine.
He's clearly of Japanese descent, but you don't know your crew all that well.
Okay.
Boop. Okay, there we go. I can move him now. Alright, so that guy is out in the room. Now time for the bad guys. Alright, so they are both going to fire at the wounded elite Yakuza. They're bastards. Run! Spectacles misses. Og connects. Alright. Alright. So, the other guy will attempt to dodge. He succeeds. Alright, so this Yakuza clings to life.
You do not fuck with the Sumeragi guy!
Okay, you can see another augmented individual slide into the limits of your vision and FISA, as well as one more who's sort of poking around from the table now. And it seems like there's more movement further in. That is it for the bad guys. Let's go back over to Sasori.
If talking is a free action, I'm going to level my sword at the elderly Japanese man and say in Japanese, identify yourself or die.
You can have a conversation with him if you would like, but I'm going to ask that it at least takes the round if it's any more than a couple of sentences.
Guys, would you like me to be back down there hitting things with my sword?
Probably.
Good question.
You're fairly good at chopping, so
I am fairly good at chopping. It's one thing my character's good at.
so I think we probably need you continuing with the
Alright,
slice.
in that case, Bertrand, going to turn to the elderly Japanese man, and I'm just going to say, you stay there. And then I'm going to turn on my heel and run back. 1,
Alright.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm just standing in the doorway now.
Okay. Alright, that'll be your action. Next up is Hawkins.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Can myself and
7.
Hawkins occupy the same space or no?
You can move.
Right past you.
Yeah,
Okay.
You can move through each other's squares at will, but you can't end your turn in the same square.
Okay, cool. No, I'm just making sure that I can run past him next turn because I have to hit people with my sword.
Right.
Yeah, we'll stop there, and then we'll do the move and shoot with the -4 penalty.
Okay. I will say So I don't want to get your hopes up too much that if you succeed by enough, you might actually blow through him and into the guy behind him.
Ooh. 14 out of... I don't think I hit him. Nope, that's a miss.
Okay. So, next up is Anthony. And while you're telling me what you'd like to do, I just need to adjust my chair here.
Okay. So the guy that I shot at before, he's still there, I think. I will attempt to shoot him again if he is. So I think that's 3d6 versus 15, and then one set of 66s for every success, or whatever.
Yeah, it's the your margin of success.
Oh, foo hell! I got 17, so I failed anyway.
Okay.
Bang! Missed.
You roll d10s again.
Ah, for fuck! Shut up, Evan! Stop laughing at me. This time I got a 7, so...
Wow. Fuck. Fuck him and the horse he rode in on.
Yeah. So I believe that's 8 that I'm below my target number.
Right, and so the recoil was 2. So
Yeah.
you hit 5 times again.
Wait, isn't it 6 this time? Oh no.
You said you got a 7?
Oh yeah. Sorry. 7, yeah. 7 less 5 times, yeah.
Your skill is 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you rolling against Og or Glasses?
I'll go against Augmented. He seems, well, tougher.
He dodges all but 2 of the hits, but go ahead and roll 12 dice.
Oh.
That is still gonna fuck his day up.
Not as much as I would have liked. 5, 10, 14. Hold on. 14 plus. Fuck. 22, 23, 29, 35, 38.
Okay. What type of... Is it just... Does it say regular... Actually, I'll probably have to ask you this, Hawkins. Is it just regular piercing?
Yes. Yep, just regular piercing.
Alright. He is going to roll against shock. Ooh. He is in bad shape, so you can see an exit wound from the side of his body as multiple machine gun rounds pierce his torso. The little icon, there we go. Alright. So, next up, the good guys.
Yay! I feel, just for the record, people of Japan, we highly apologize for the phrase that Yakuza are good guys. We know that they sow fear, discomfort, and terror in your lives. However, being Westerners and filthy gaijin, we can't seem to care.
They're taking a page out of Japanese theater. They're the good guys.
Totes.
Alright.
They're always the good guys.
So, is there any additional orders you want to issue, Anthony, before I act for them?
Don't shoot the boss might be a good one.
I will tell them to concentrate on Glasses. We'll deal with Augmented.
Okay. Here comes the fury of dice rolls. Miss. Ooh. Critical hit. And another hit. Okay.
What does a critical hit actually do, Bertrand?
It multiplies your damage, basically.
And you can't dodge it.
Yeah.
Nice. Woo. Fuck you, Glasses.
Yeah.
So hopefully Glasses is done for.
He is. He sort of reels backwards as multiple shots erupt through his body and slumps over on the ground next to the door, which incidentally leads to the bathroom. Reveal that now. There we go.
Did we actually get the augmented guy out of the bathroom?
No. They're both minimally augmented, but the other guy is still blocking the doorway. Let's see. Let's roll for the ordinary crewman. That is a miss. Okay. So now it's the bad guy's turn. Let's see. The wounded person is going to stumble out. I've made a mistake. 1, 2, 3. And his partner here is going to throw the grenade.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, crap.
So, here we go. 12. Alright. So the grenade impacts against the far wall here. And that means that all of you are in the radius of effect. If you would like to dodge, now's the chance.
And dodging is 3d6 against...
Yes, and you are rolling against 3 plus, I believe it's your basic speed.
So that's against 9. Okay.
Oh, wow. I failed spectacularly.
Yeah, I got a 15.
Ooh, wasn't a crit.
No, but
No.
couldn't have been much fucking worse.
I'm sorry, Evan, your icon disappeared from my screen. Is it underneath? Like,
It's underneath the other guy.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh wait, am I in the area of effect? I'm standing behind a wall.
Yeah, you can't be in the same spot as the ordinary crewman.
Okay, I'll be up here.
Okay.
Am I still in the area of effect?
Yeah.
Evan,
Excellent.
stop trying to run away from the area of effect.
To be fair, you and I are armored out the ass, Anthony. If anyone's going to survive it, it's going to be us.
You say that.
I do.
We both know that's not how this works.
Alright. Fragmentation damage. I did this wrong, and I'm going to ask, for, in the interest of learning, for you to all roll your dodges again. You cannot roll any defense against this, but what you can do is try and dive for cover.
Yep.
Any of you that have that available. And so you will be, that's a dodge roll at a +3. You can move a step, and you will be prone at the beginning of the next round.
Yeah, I still get a 14 if it's +3.
I dive into the bathroom.
I attempt to dive and collide with a wall.
I just jump back here behind the wall a little bit more.
Okay. Let's see, this guy will go here, here, and the wounded fellow actually can't move, so he just drops where he is. So with those +3s, does that change your successes for any of you?
Still a huge success for me.
I'm fortunately out of it this time, so thank God.
Yeah. For me, the plus. Let's see. It's 14, so I'd have 11 without the +3. So yeah, I still fail as far as I know.
Okay.
+3 takes it to 14, so I'm uber fucked.
No, I mean, what you're rolling against is +3. So what's your dodge right now? 9?
9. So actually, yes.
You're rolling against a 12.
And I only have an 11, so I'm actually safe. Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, we're all good.
Okay. Wow, that was lucky. Jeez. Your friends aren't so lucky.
Heck! How many people did we lose this time?
All right. The senior ranking Yakuza takes a brunt of the shrapnel, full in the chest, and he pauses for a moment in shock as he peers down his body as thousands of little pinpricks of blood appear on his chest, and he slumps over.
Ooh.
Those are expensive!
This guy here twists around as he's dodging. He dodges a little too late, and he twists around in a heap on the floor, landing unceremoniously with his arm pinned underneath him. He does not appear to be moving.
No.
The guy in the back is sheltered somewhat by the two people in front of him, and he cries out in pain, grabbing his leg, and kneels down, but he is still alive. And we're not quite done yet. We're going to have this guy actually moves out of your vision, and you hear the shuffling of further movement inside the room. They appear to be taking up a position. And that is it for the enemies. So, Sasori, how do you feel?
Stop blowing holes in my ship!
I have to spend my action picking myself up, don't I?
Yes, you do. If you want to move, that is. I'm assuming you do.
I'm gonna move, but while I have the time, I'm gonna look up at the old guy who's still in the room here somewhere, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, who, as I stand up and brush myself off, who the hell are you?
He sort of he's on his way back into the room after hearing the explosion. He sort of peeks his head out sheepishly, then suddenly stands up straight and adjusts his glasses. And he says, Chief Engineer Wasan, who are you?
I'm... What?
You can actually see the fiscal rage.
Oh, what? How would I phrase this properly? My name is Sasori Masuta. Very nice to meet you.
You can see him swallow a little bit hardly, but he does his best to try and maintain his composure as he hears your name. He says, "Oh."
Right. I have a question. What are these animals doing trying to lock down that side of the ship? What's over there?
He scratches the back of the head. How on earth should I know? Maybe I thought you could tell me.
You're the engineer!
That's right, I am, he says proudly.
Okay.
My next action might be a charge to decapitate that guy. Continue on with other people while I rage at life.
Hawkins, you're up.
Alright, I will pick myself up off the floor. I've still got my shotgun at ready, so that's pretty much my move and my action, right?
Yep.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna chill in the toilet for now.
Alright. Have fun in there.
There's some naughty girl manga in there if you're really interested, you know.
Alright, Anthony, you're up.
Okay, so is Augment still standing there, or no?
He moved, the one that was formerly blocking the doorway you saw move back into the room at a very slow, sort of hobbled and wounded pace. The rest that you find in the doorway are dead bodies, enemies and friendlies.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to kill Augment. Because, fuck him.
You don't have a clear shot to anyone from here. Except, you know, the people that are on your side. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Very well. I will run to the side, to the edge of the door, so I can. So in the next action, I can turn to shoot into the room.
Okay. Just go ahead and move your token.
Okay. Goddamn thing.
The mouse isn't working for you. You can just try selecting it using the arrow keys.
Can't even see the friggin' thing. There we are. And I am there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't want to hit the door, but yeah.
You're just at the base of it right now. Now you're in front of the door.
Okay, so I'll go there, I think.
Okay.
So that was 4 actions to move there. I take it I can't do sod all else, though.
No, that's it.
Okay, I'm going to stand there, just away from shooty range.
Okay. Let's see, do we have any good guys left to act? The crewmen inside, without really being given any orders, that is at the north-hand side of the room, remain where they are. This one here doesn't have anybody to fire at, so he will wait. This one here is attempting to tend to his wounds. So, now it's the bad guys. I'm going to roll for the one in the front first. Alright. So, with a loud blasting noise, the door in front here slams shut. You put your forearm over your eyes, Anthony, as little pieces of sparks and dust sort of radiate the already roasted and charred hallway. Incidentally, the hallways actually still have roughly the same shape. The metal that the interior of the ship is built in actually contained most of the explosion, making the grenade all the more deadly. But the ship itself is relatively undamaged in this part. The door, however, is now closed.
Looks at door. That's irritating.
Alright. Sasori, back up to you.
Where did he come from? He came from behind a bookshelf.
Yep.
I'm going to ask him, is there another way to get through there, the passageway you were in, to the other side?
He sort of looks over and then stops himself, regretting, I think, for a moment that he even had to check, and then shakes his head.
Let's see.
However, roll against your IQ, or demolitions if you have it.
IQ it is. Because I ain't afraid of no ghost, anyway. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I fail. Shit.
Okay. Nope, there doesn't appear to be any obvious way to get in. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna walk down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just to kind of have a look at the door.
Okay. There is a porthole in the center, so I can reveal a little bit more of it to you.
Okay.
Let's see. You can kind of see up over here. Let's say you can see all the way to the back there, where there is another closed door.
What's
so
closed the door? Can I open the door? Has it been like wedged closed or sealed closed?
It just appears to be ordinarily closed from here.
Right. Gonna turn around since, like, have we kind of left initiative? I mean, is combat stopped while we attempt to open the door, or is it still combat?
It's basically stopped at this point.
Okay.
Unless one of you does something to put yourself in harm's way.
Right. So shall we all kind of gather out here so we can get, what's that room in there? The crow room.
It's beneath where the crow's nest goes all the way up, so there's a spiraling area and another hatch that's closed that leads all the way back up to the top of the ship.
What do people think we should do?
I was about to say, we kick open the door and go guns blazing. I mean, they're going to be ready for us, but if they're in between us and the engine room, got to go in, got to do it.
Right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to one of us is going to kick the door open and lob one of our grenades in there.
Yep.
Yeah, you still got a smoke grenade on the body of the elite Yakuza.
Yeah. It's a tear gas grenade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it.
All right, I'll grab the grenade if you want to kick the door open.
Okie dokie. Sasori's going to. He's probably going to. Do you want me to roll a strength check for this?
No, go ahead and try the door.
He's going to try and. He's going to try and open the door.
Okay. It opens. As you do that, however,
Oh
a
crap!
hail of gunfire comes your way.
Yup.
Come on, clamshell. Don't fail me now.
It's one miss. The gentleman who was wounded before misses because he is wounded. That's a hit. And that's a miss. You are lucky, let me tell you.
And is it only one I have to dodge?
It is. He has hit you with 2 attacks. He is also wielding an the person that hit you is wielding an SMG. So go ahead and roll your dodge, and if you succeed by a margin of 2 or more, you dodge all the attacks.
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact, because my dodge normally, according to this, is 8. So to dodge with -1, I require 7. I rolled exactly 7.
All right, good for you. So, kind of expecting this, you put your hand out to open the door and then kind of lean back as bullets sort of rush past you. However, the door is now open. On to Master Hawkins.
Indeed. All right, I will move up. Actually, I think I was already right there because I was ready to throw the grenade. And just chuck a grenade in right there.
Is this a grenade you already have?
Yep, I grabbed it from the elite Yakuza guy.
I don't recall you spending an action to do that.
You said we were out of combat until we kicked the door open.
Okay, cool.
So, yep, I throw it in there, I chuck it. I'll do my throwing roll quick to see how accurate I am.
I swear to God, if you drop it at our feet, I'm going to be pissed.
Nah, that's easy. 12 out of 15.
Yeah, I'd say that connects. So everybody around the table is going to attempt to drop and dodge. Failure. Success. Failure by a lot. Critical success. And another success. Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
I think it was just, you said the Yakuza guy had a tear gas grenade, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Okay.
So, whatever, I can look up tear gas quick.
Yeah, it's under afflictions. Let's see, partial blindness. Okay. As a respiratory agent, has no delay and an HT-2 roll to resist and causes coughing. As a vision-based agent, it has no delay and causes blindness. All right, so we're going to roll against their health -2. Yeah, one is afflicted. Second one is afflicted. Third one is afflicted. And the fourth one succeeds. Alright. So let me get those icons on there.
Nice.
Well, they've got a grenade. Let's give them a grenade.
Justin must hate us right now. I can see the scorn in his eyes.
If we can get to the end of this combat, it won't be long before you guys meet up.
Yep.
Alright. So, coughing and retching and hacking and all kinds of other machine-like wheezing noises issue from the room. However, smoke is also just about to begin pouring out into the hallway.
Yep.
Next up is Anthony.
Okay, so door is open. Right, and the guy has gone up the stairs. Okay.
Okay, stink.
I'm going to put the gun into the hatchway essentially, keeping my body out, but basically pointing the gun in and up, and just basically try to fire up at. Basically, and having a sort of shrapnel effect will do some damage.
So, are you firing at the door and hoping to get a ricochet?
I assume the door was open.
Yeah, the door is open. Partially.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to fire up into where Tosspot's gone.
Could you ping where you're trying to aim?
I can't even tell on this map. Okay, where is everyone else?
We're right at the front of the door.
Right.
Evan's right in the middle. I'm right in the square above him. He pushed it open. I threw a grenade in. So whatever you're doing now, either.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip this action and wait for Evan's instructions because I'm confused at this point.
Okay. Alright, so we'll go over to the good guys. This one on the bottom here seems to have finished patching himself up, and he will step over the body of his fallen comrade and stack up on the window there. I'm just going to move him down for clarity. There we go. This crewman will stay where he is. And now it's the bad guy's turn. Roll courage for the one in the trades. He succeeds. So he is going to take aim. He's going to be aiming at. Well, actually, he's going to be aiming at the doorway, as near as you can tell. The one in the front, enraged, is going to fire at Asmi. He succeeds, and he scores 3 hits. Would you like to attempt to dodge?
Yes. I jump out of the way at 3.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
You weave back and press your back against the doorway as the bullets miss you.
Ding.
All right. The wounded fellow in the back. He's down to a pistol at this point, so he's going to fire weakly at Sasori. He misses. The one further in the back in the top left will take aim at Asmi. And he succeeds, scoring only 1 hit. You can attempt to dodge again if you would like.
Dodged.
Nice. You sort of poke your head in and nope, back out.
Nope.
And the guy in the shades in the far back can only aim at Asmi, I'm afraid. So he misses.
All right. Evan?
All right. The hacking and coughing continues from inside the room, but the smoke has begun to fill the entrance to the doorway. So I would like Asmi, Sasori, and Anfisa to all roll against their health.
We're good.
We're good.
What about you, Anthony? Your health is probably like a 10, right?
Sorry, brain. Yeah, HP 10, yeah.
Okay. So roll 3d6 for me.
Okay. And that's a 9.
So you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the
Does that
smoke and
mean we're immune to the effect, BR, or how does it work?
We're holding our breath.
Yeah.
I mean, if I walk into the smoke now, do I have to retest next turn, or am I good?
It says both effects endure for the time spent in the glass plus 1 minute times the margin of failure. So,
If you're still
I'm
in
gonna
it,
say-
you have to roll.
yeah, I'm going to say you're going to have to roll each turn, but you do get the option to move out at the top of your turn before you have to roll again.
Okay, so my turn? Top of the
Yep.
initiative? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And doing that thing I love to do so much. And
Chopping
I
off the
hit
head.
him. Oh, I was one off critical success.
Wow. Is that a 4?
That's a 2.
4 total?
Yeah.
That is a critical success.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
wow.
All right. So, go ahead and skip right to rolling damage.
How does a critical success work, Bertrand?
I don't believe he can dodge it, and I think his armor doesn't apply. There's a multiplier involved.
Okay.
Hope I'm remembering that right. Am I remembering that right, Hawkins?
I just sat back down. What was the question?
On a critical strike, they can't roll to prevent it, and it goes through armor.
I don't know about the armor. I know they can't roll to prevent.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Cool.
I'll
That's
double
6 times 4 basic. That's 8 because it's swing plus 2, which is 8 times 4.
Okay. So. He holds out his hand in an attempt to stop your blade. He's got very thick, black, sort of plastic and steel augmented arms.
Oh,
But-
but by the way, sorry, Bertrand. Just for the record, and my blade automatically will ignore 10 points of armor anyway if armor still applies because it's got
Right.
the cool thing about it.
As he holds up his hand, the sharpness of your blade slices through, and you can hear the groaning sound as it seems like sheet metal slices down his augmented limbs, and sparks go flying out, and his arm just sort of peels into 2 pieces uselessly. Not dead, but not looking good.
Awesome. For I am Sasori, fucker of augments.
Hawkins, you're up.
All right. Since I'm right there, I will probably just blast at Mr. Sunglasses. I think he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, he's still in close range for me.
He does have partial cover behind the table, so only
Okay.
partial.
Then I will. What does that give him, or what does that affect me?
2.
2.
You
Yeah.
drops 2.
All right, we'll give her a whirl. 12. So that's still a hit.
Okay. This is with your shotgun, you said?
Yep.
All right, let's see here. Nope. All right, the hit connects. Let's see what kind of damage you're able to get.
7, 10, 11, 15.
So that's 30 total. All right. He is blasted back with the force of the blast, and so
Whew.
doubles over and collapses on the floor, hacking and coughing as he does.
Nice.
All right. Good kill. Anthony, you're next.
Okay, do we have any more people who are attempting to shoot at us?
Yes.
There are 3 remaining inside the room. I don't know if you'll be able to center your vision, but you might try on the map. And one of whom is an easy target, and the other one is a very difficult target in the back for you.
Alright, I will attempt to shoot the easy target.
Okay.
That was an 8.
All right. So you score 4 hits. Actually,
Right, yeah. 8 versus 14. I'm 15, sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and give you the 4 hits since I haven't been tracking this. But as you finish shooting the guy, your trigger clicks as your clip runs out of bullets.
Right.
Alright. Next comes the dodge. And he is at a penalty for it because his arm is now in 2 pieces. Dodges 1 hit, so that's 18 dice again.
Oh God.
In fact, you know what?
Come on, let me roll this.
Alright, go ahead and roll if you want
If I
to.
get a bunch of ones, then we know it's...
Because, you know, God hates
Yeah,
you.
yeah. If I get a bunch of ones, I'm going to just walk up and cry. 4, 8, 9, 14, 16, 20, 22, 23, 25, 29, 35, 36, 38, 43, 46, 52, and 58.
Okay. So he tries to jerk away, but he's held in position by Sasoria's monowire katana, and he's unable to, as bullet after bullet ricochets through his body, and he sort of staggers and then falls limply, but his arm is still hanging up, sort of waving around in the air. It's still connected to your blade.
Ooh, dead guy.
Disgraces my father's sword.
Alright. Only 2 more to go, and we can finally get out of this combat. So, this guy here is going to go charging in, following the lead of the rest of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he is going to kneel for cover inside the room. Anyone else? No. Alright. 2 remaining bad guys. The wounded one will take aim at Sasori. He hits. Alright.
Okay, give me a second. Oh wow, he does hit.
Okay. Now, I was going to say, there's a maneuver that you can use called drop and dodge, which will give you a bonus, and I was going to limit your option to that this turn because you're kind of joined at the hip, so to speak, with the guy in front of you.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take the shot, Bertrand.
Okay. So you're not going to dodge and drop, you're just going to stay where you are?
Well, I mean, you're the one who said that I really shouldn't be able to do it because of my position.
I mean, I can give you a penalty, and you can hang on to your blade, or I can give you a bonus, and you can leave your blade.
Did he only succeed in shooting me once?
Yes.
Or how many successes did he get? Yeah, I'll stand and have my clamshell tank it.
Okay. Six, 9, 32. Okay. So you subtract 30 off of 36. That's 6 remaining.
I actually subtract 40 off it.
I thought the clamshell was 30.
It is, but my exoskeleton that I wear gives me another 10 points of armor, and it's all over my body.
Do they stack linearly?
Yeah,
Like
they
that?
do, because to pierce one, you have to go through the other, so you can actually get stack.
Alright. So you're there, standing there with your sword going through his arm, and the shot connects. You sort of lean over to one side and then stand straight back up.
If you want, however, it could deactivate, if you want, if you think the damage is sufficient, it could deactivate my power armor for one of my limbs, maybe.
I mean, there are ways around it. Eventually, the bad guys, like I said, are going to start, aiming around your armor. But what you're telling me is that you have actually looked up the rules for armor stacking.
Hang on. I read them the other night because I thought this might come up, but I think I'm right. I continue with the combat. If so, we'll know for the next time. But I think I am. Hang on. I'll look at armor.
All right. I'll roll for the last bad guy. He's also going to aim at Sasori. 11. He also hits.
Can I dodge this one or no?
Yeah, I mean, you can try to. Again, the options are with a -2 penalty to stay where you are, but just try and bend out of the way, or you can try and dodge and drop this time.
I'll try the dodge and drop. So what is the maneuver?
It's just you roll your dodge, you add
Yep.
3, and you're prone.
Yep, I succeed. So I drop to the ground.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The
Yeah,
bullet
I
whizzes
succeed.
over your head and thuds into the body of the already dead enemy you've laid low.
By the way, be out in the chat the rules for combining and layering armor.
Okay, I'll take a look at it in a sec. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Sasori is up now. So, Evan, you are prone on the ground. Your sword is still stuck in the other guy's arm. What would you
Yeah.
like to do?
I'm going to stand up.
Okay. You stand up, fearless of all danger. Hawkins, you're up.
Hawkins,
Alright.
don't be fearless of danger. Shoot the danger so it doesn't shoot me.
Shoot the danger.
I will shoot at the closest lightly augmented guy, whatever he is, right above Sasori.
Okay.
3, give him a blast. 11, 15. Just barely hits, so 1 degree.
Okay. Don't need to roll damage. He's already heavily wounded. So
Okay.
he can't take
Splat.
another hit. Yeah. He sort of looks up, and then the shots just sort of connect, and he falls backwards and slumps over in surrender. There we go. Anthony,
Yes.
your turn.
I'm going to. Okay. Is there anyone any of the bad guys to whom I have a direct line of sight?
You actually do have a direct line of sight to the remaining bad guy. You'll suffer a cover penalty, but you can attempt to hit them.
I will attempt to shoot him.
Okay.
What is my penalty?
I'll give you a 3 because there are bodies in the way.
Okay, so whatever I roll, add 3 to it. Alright. I rolled a 14, so 17, which is over what I have, so I fail.
Okay. So the bullet whizzes behind him and ricochets off the door leading to the rear bathroom, and the door sort of vibrates slowly open with the force of the bullet. Okay. Now we have hero remaining Yakuza. He's going to fire. He's going to peek up from over the desk, and he's going to fire multiple shots with his pistol at the last remaining bad guy. He fires wildly, and one shot finally connects. 12, 13, 15. Okay. Let's see. He'll attempt to dodge. He succeeds. Okay. So, last remaining guy. He's going to fire at Sasori once again, seeing him stand up. He hits you 4 times. He's got an SMG. I want to do this on Roll20 just so it can give me a nice total. I don't have to do the math on myself.
Okay, I have a really good dodge, but we'll just see. If I drop to the ground again? He goes up, he goes down.
Yup.
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly try.
Okay, with a 6, that means I dodge 3 attacks, Bertrand.
Okay, that's very good.
Oh, sorry, no. With the 6, sorry. If I get a +3, which I do, for dropping to the ground, my basic minus 3 dodge is 6. So then I've dodged all 4 attacks.
Just start with telling me what your effective dodge is. You got a +3 bonus, so what are you rolling against?
Okay, my first one is 9. But then to dodge a second attack is 8. To dodge a
Just tell me what you're rolling against. So what's your regular dodge without any bonus?
my regular dodge bonus is 9.
So it's a 12, and you got a 6, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you are
You're good.
right.
You're overcomplicating it.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good, buddy. I just had to make sure because
Oh, thank God! I actually saw the pearly gates flashing before my eyes, and my honored ancestors talking to me about how I never offered them tea and biscuits.
All right.
That wasn't your honoured ancestors, that was me.
So the last guy in the back, still hacking, coughing, wheezing, and now crying, barely able to see, hears the click sound as the pen drops out of the bottom of his magazine. He still uselessly just sort of tries to keep firing at you, but he's almost entirely blind at this point, and I think we can call that an end to initiative. Well done, guys.
Woo!
You mean we didn't die?
We did not,
Wait,
in fact, die.
hang on. You mean my ship isn't? You mean my ship isn't going to blow up?
Oh, it might still do that.
Oh crap!
It's full of holes, remember? And we're near the engine room where there's lots of fuel lines that will also have been shot to fuck.
Okay. So, what's everybody's health at right now, including the damage from last time?
Untouched.
Same.
Untouched as far as I know.
Very good. All right. It will not be so easy next time. Well done, guys.
What you're saying is I won't roll as good next time.
So note to self. Next character, build tank. As in literally just build a Sherman tank with a brake.
I had to give you guys a bit of a softball on this one, but that was only because if you don't, but that's only because if I didn't, it could have been very easily a TPK. So I'm going to slowly start moving it up until I find the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
Carefully, though. So you should do just fine next time. You might take a few wounds, though.
Very well. Sasori is going to kind of brush the. Bear in mind, he's had to duck and cover in a pile of gore twice. He's going to calmly stand up and he's going to say to whomever of his staff are still alive, has all the gunfire stopped, Bertrand?
Yes. Let me turn those sound effects off. There we go. Yes, there are no more sounds of gunfire that you can hear on this part of the ship.
Very good.
Don't you love it when the GM phrases it that way?
Uh-huh.
That you can hear on this part of the ship.
Fuck's sake. I'm thinking of just abandoning the damn thing and writing it off as a loss.
Well, the question is it insured?
Bertrand, is it insured?
I don't think you'd be wanting to find traceable insurance papers on a ship that's probably used for smuggling, would be my guess.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Sasori is going to stand up. He's going to look down at the fact he looks like he's literally rolled around in an abattoir, kind of grunt with distaste before he cleans his sword on the clothing of a dead person and scabbards it. All while going,
All right.
which is now the universal sign of Japanese disgust.
You guys raise yourself to your feet and take stock of the situation. There's a lot of dead bodies all over the ship, ones that you didn't even notice before earlier in the combat. There was at least 2 dead crewmen before the combat began. The one was just slumped over in surprise in the chair. More dead bodies in the other room. and even a few friendlies that have passed away. The chief engineer sort of peeks his head around the doorway and is just looking on. He's trying to appear stoic, but you can tell he's a little bit in shock from what he sees.
Are you able to get this ship moving again?
He looks over at you and nods with a somber glance.
Good. We need to find the nearest safe harbor and put in immediately.
First, we will have to recover control of the computer. Do you know where that is?
Do I?
Yeah, I believe Anfisa told you before. It's I will ping it over here. It's towards the very rear of the ship.
Very well. In that case, shall we ho-to-to-to-to in that general direction?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do some hotter sewing.
Ho-to-to-to-to. It's a great word.
So
Think of Marx Brothers, but more Asian. Ha-ta-ta-ta.
let me go back to DJ Cam here.
Justin, you're going to be coming into it soon. Have excitement.
No, sorry, I have to go to bed. It's
Yeah.
it's like 1:15 in the morning here.
All right, fair enough, friend. You're going to get in more, I think round about the middle of the next session, there'll be one scene that'll need to be finished up. I think the next time we have, which will be 2 weeks from today. And then you guys will be together.
Yay.
Right, so let's are you closing it here, BR, or are we going to finish off as much of the ship as we can do so we can not have to do it next time?
I mean, that's really up to you. Justin is Justin the only one that has to go to bed?
I don't have to, so.
Goodbye. See you later.
See you
Later,
later,
Justin.
Take care, Justin.
Yeah, let's push on and get as much of this done as we can get managed, if everyone's cool with that.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
What the Hang on.
So I will ping the map over here, if you guys can see that through DJ Vision.
Yep.
This right here is the entrance to the engine room.
Okay. I follow the Hawkins intrepidly.
All right.
And I follow my employer.
Intrepidly? Do you have any idea what Anfisa's salary is? It's obscene.
And yet you still don't pay me enough for this sort of work, sir.
I pay you $500,000 a month.
Still not enough for this sort of shit.
Hell.
All right. You approach the doorway cautiously. You don't hear anything unusual from the inside except the sounds of continuously repeating errors in digitized voice, saying error, course correction, destination not found, rerouting, and that repeats over and over and over in a synthesized voice. Other than that, the room is silent.
Right,
As you slowly make your way down the ladder, down the hatch that's in the center of the room, and down to the main engine and computering room, you can see a figure that is limp with a series of cables going into his arm and the back of his neck and all over his body, and he seems to be completely unconscious. There's no sign of motion of any kind, and there is an open briefcase on the floor next to him where some of the cabling from the sides of the computer have been ripped out and shoved into both sides of this portable computer.
Let's go and very, very visually and very unpleasantly disconnect him, shall we?
Okay. Do you want to do this carefully or with gusto? I mean, do you want to attempt to preserve the man's life?
Yes, let's do that.
All right. To do that, you're going to need to try... Well, let's have everybody roll computer operation if you have it, or IQ -5 if you don't. You can also, if you have another related computer skill, use the base of that, but at a penalty. It'll be listed under the skill.
I fail.
Okay.
Osme James don't know about them there computerizers.
I got a 12, so I definitely failed.
All right.
What if we... I succeed if we have to roll under our int, and even if there's a minus condition, I think it's about -3 or -2, -3 or 4, isn't it?
It's minus
Roll
5.
unskilled.
-5.
Oh, then fuck no.
All right. So you fiddle and you type around the computer, but the individual doesn't seem to move. You don't seem to be able to find a way to actively disconnect him from the network.
Oh, can the
Furthermore-
engineer, if we summon him down, can he disconnect him?
Yes, he might be able to try.
Very well.
I will move him over. So, huffing and puffing, the engineer makes his way down the stairs and into the engine room. And he scratches his head while looking over at the body of the computer, and then shakes his head when he starts hearing the error sounds coming from the computer, and muttering and cursing and swearing. He begins to type quickly on the computer, and then he says, "I can kill him or leave him alive, it's up to you."
Leave him alive. I want to interrogate him.
Alright. I have to kick him out to be able to get in here. He's going to be waking up soon. You might want to get your weapons ready.
But before he does, Bertrand, can I chop... how in the link is he, essentially? Like, will he feel anything that happens to his body in the real world until he jumps back?
Probably not. He might receive a warning,
Okay, I'm chopping off both... no, I was going to chop off both his hands, but I'm not going to do that anymore. Asmi, put your shotgun right in his mouth. Actually, open his mouth, shotgun into it.
I'll just put it right next to his head. And I'll be kind of behind him.
If he tries anything, blow its brains across the wall.
Alright, so you've got your shotgun pointed in his mouth. The engineer types for a moment and then looks over at the guy, who sort of drifts awake. His eyes come into focus, and you know, he mutters, but he's not really saying much.
Uh-huh.
The engineer, just on his own accord, just ignores what's going on over to the right, the left-hand side of him, and just continues trying to retake control of the ship. I'm gonna roll his repair skill for that. Do you guys want to attempt an interrogation in the meanwhile, or anything like that?
Yeah, we're going to interrogate the motherfucker.
Okay. Oh, he succeeds mightily. Okay. So
Good.
he's got the shotgun in his mouth. Would you like to take it out of his mouth?
Yep, I'll just creep it back about an inch or two.
All right.
Good
So-
afternoon.
In response to what passed for the man's eyes, there were the lidless points of light, sort of the side of them darken and center on the shotgun that's now in front of him. It doesn't say anything.
Now then, what are you doing aboard my vessel?
He sort of gestures with one hand as if to indicate that he's not reaching for a weapon, and begins to slowly raise himself to his feet. Any response to that?
Keep the weapon trained on him, and I think that's about it.
Yep.
BR, quick question. What would be the role to search him?
That would be perception search.
By the way, I take it that we physically disconnected him from the computer.
He basically just gave him the exit command. So he quit out as if you would from a program safely, so that nothing happened to him.
Okay.
And it's a -5 on the roll if I don't have any search.
No,
Which-
it uses your
I don't.
senses. You're definitely going to want to check out the section on perception, but for now we'll just use the perception score that's written on the top of your sheet.
I'm using 10. Okay, so that's... fudge, that's another 12.
Okay.
So I tried
you-
to search him, and if he did have anything, I didn't find it.
So you start patting him down, as he raises himself up to his feet. Let's see, Asmi, I would like you to roll perception as well.
All right. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 6 out of 11.
You see him reaching behind his back, sort of at waist level. He's trying to make it look like he straightened himself out, but his fingers are definitely reaching down somewhere where he shouldn't be.
I will just jam the shotgun into the side of his head and be like, "Try me."
Okay. He doesn't stop. In fact, he raises up. You fire? Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll. You don't have to roll to hit. Just roll your damage.
Okay.
In fact, don't even bother rolling your damage. I mean, you're at point-blank range of the fucking shotgun. It's not like he's going to survive.
Yep.
And it is pointed at his head. All right. So in a shock of sparks and digital equipment, you see computer chips and wires fly through the air and sparkle as they land on the ground. At the same time, you can see a wired line reaching to his back that led to his O2 container. It seems like he was trying to kill himself before facing interrogation. And, well, you know, it worked out for him, I guess.
Oops.
So, where are we? Because we've now gotten control of the ship's computer again, haven't we?
Yeah, you're in the cramped room that I described earlier, which is a bunch of digital
No,
equipment.
I mean, where is the ship?
Where is the ship? You're not able to tell right now, but you can ask the engineer.
That was what I was asking him. I was asking him where. So where are we now? And geographically speaking, we were thrown off course. I'm wondering where we are.
He nods and says, hang on, I'm trying to take it back. Just sort of trails off like that. He does an outstanding job. You know, he sort of wraps one side of the cable around his neck. He reaches inside of the bowels of the machine, rips one of the other cards out, puts it back in, and you can hear the error messages on the computer just stop.
Huh.
He says, all right, she's in diagnostic now. What the hell are you saying?
Where are we?
Communications is down. We don't have any GPS because it's off the old InfoLink network. I have no idea.
Make getting communication back online your top priority.
All right. I need to get this thing out of diagnostic mode so we can get control back of the ship. Keep working on that.
I'll turn to the engineer and look at him and say, anything physical, I can get my hands dirty. Let me know if there's something on the ship that needs hands-on attention.
Yeah, he says, go over there to that hatch over there. There's like an open hatch, which presumably the gentleman that was here earlier was rifling around in. See what he messed up. I can't get him to start talking again.
Okay. I will go over there and give it a repair roll.
Okay.
9 out of 11.
All right. So there's not a lot of damage here. There's just been some rerouting. There's a fairly complicated security mechanism that has to be overcome in order to change the routing of a ship. Since these days it's almost entirely automated. But he's done that, and he's basically done it by disabling the AI's ability to actually communicate with the ship's engine. Which is why it was kept feeding out those errors, and then was manually controlling the ship himself.
Oh, okay.
So does that mean now he's dead? The ship is literally dead in the water?
Presumably, yeah. And in point of fact, you can hear the room sort of rocks to one side as the boat takes another significant wave.
All right. Well, I will point it out to the engineer. Do I know enough to disable this?
What you've done is you've reversed what he did. So
Okay.
once again, the AI can communicate with the engine, and as it does, errors start blinking. Those of you who are looking over the engineer's shoulder or even in the room can see his screen just lights up with red as it starts indicating the amount of water the ship has taken on, what the bilge pumps are doing, how long you have until the ship capsizes or falls beneath the waves, and what to do. And the ship immediately gives a giant lurch as it starts turning. The engineer makes no effort to try and override the AI.
Yep.
And heads towards a destination that it will report if you ask.
What is the destination?
Heading to nearest shore, the computer says in a relaxing and uncharacteristically easy voice. Vietnam, Port Alsino, southern tip, South China Sea.
Distance from coordinates.
2.5 hours, and it gives you the equivalent number in knots and in kilometers. Which is more, it is, if you're looking over his shoulder at the screen, it reports you that you have maybe 8 hours tops before you're going to want to get in the lifeboats, and there's a countdown involving that, so 2.5 you should make it to shore safely.
Oh,
Very good.
jeez. Continue. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, have communications been reestablished or no?
The communications blister isn't controlled through here,
Okay.
but the AI is able to find its bearings.
Okay. Baby steps.
All right. If you guys got the engine room under control, I roll back down my sleeves and where to next? I look to Sasori.
Well, it would appear as though we have to go to Vietnam. It mentioned a port that we were going to be going to?
Yeah, the port Sinoi, S-I-N-O-I. It's Vietnam sort of hangs down like this in the South China Sea, and you're moving towards the very southern tip of it on the eastern side. So it is absolutely, and the AI just calculates in terms of the shortest square miles, and you're moving in a straight line towards that port.
Okay. Hopefully, there we'll be able to get the ship reballasted and repaired. And I will be able to secure us all transportation to somewhere more civilized.
Okay.
Though we may wish to dump the dead bodies overboard, as I fear Port Authority might not be completely understanding.
Yeah. Any among you have Streetwise, go ahead and roll it. Those of you that don't, give me IQ minus, let's say, 4.
All right. I actually did not have enough points for Streetwise. Sad. Oh, there we go. No problem.
All right.
Yeah, no, I know nothing.
Yeah, no problem. I got it.
All right, the two of you
Hello.
feel...
Me and Mike have the same roll.
You guys both crit on this.
We
All
crit.
right.
Yeah.
Light pours out of your ears. Ah! I'm so cool. I know all the streets.
Somehow, despite never having been to Vietnam, I know everything about Vietnam.
It would
And that's
be...
why.
The AI is operating on, sort of the core of the software that's intended for merchant vessels. So it is sending you to a regular port because it's in emergency mode right now. This would be a very bad idea. Ship would almost certainly be impounded. You would all be bioscanned. More than likely ID'd for most of you if you didn't take alternate identity or anything like that.
Yeah.
You might want to talk to the engineer, to the AI itself.
Okay.
So sorry, Bertrand, I stepped away for some of that. What were you saying? It's a bad idea to go to the port that they've indicated.
Yep. We need to find an alternate safe port.
Distance from Japan.
Too far. I mean, more
Okay.
than 13, 14 hours at least.
Okay, cool.
Do
Well,
I
have
know
to
of
think
any
about it.
safe ports from my organization, or just that are open to smuggling, or simply?
Did you say your organization? I forget what you sent me, but I don't remember you saying they worked in Vietnam at all, did they?
No, I just said he's got. My father was on the West Coast, and my Grandpa took care of supplies from Pakistan, but he operates around the world. But I don't have like.
Distance
Would I know
from
of
Korea.
anywhere? Yeah.
Basically, the only place that you can make is Vietnam from here, because your South China Sea is like this, Vietnam
Yep.
is over here, you're sort of towards the south.
Yep.
Okay.
You could, in theory, make it to Cambodia if you wanted to push it.
I think we should push it.
No. It depends. I mean, but bear in mind, I mean, how corrupt are these places realistically? I mean, can I buy our way out?
Almost certainly, actually. Almost certainly. In Vietnam, the second-tier tigers, they've been invested in a fair amount by the Japanese and even to a certain degree the Chinese in a sort of bidding war. But because of that, while they are richer than they used to be, they're still just as corrupt.
Very good. In that case, Vietnam will do. I will buy our way out of any customs details.
Okay.
That will give you an additional bonus, because even if you guys were to find, an out-of-the-way kind of port, or just simply run the ship into the shore, if you buy the port authority, they will help you repair your ship.
Yep.
Good. In
Right.
that case, we will continue on our previous heading.
Okay. So, the ship staggers and churns through the water. You're all sort of praying that it holds together, but the ship does remarkably well as it travels through the water. Some of you, and indeed the few remaining crewmen that are able to, that don't have any other skills to offer at this point, are helping bilge out the ship by, just taking buckets and dumping them over the side, as sailors in ancient times used to, while the machine pumps try and do the rest. And the ship is actually in pretty good shape as you pull slowly into the port. Now, if you would like to talk amongst yourselves in character or out, I've just got to take a minute or two to do some quick scene changes here.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll bug out for just a minute to get a drink, and I'll be back.
Yeah, this is a good time to take a 5-minute break for the rest of you if you want me to.
Also, I take it we remembered in this period of time to dump the bodies overboard.
Yeah, you mentioned
One
that
hopes
specifically.
so. Otherwise, we is rather fooped.
No, don't notice all those corpses piled in the corner, Mr. Vietnamese official delegate person, please.
Just slowly
Yeah.
using your back heel
Yeah.
to scoot the dead head, the severed head, like behind the desk.
Oh no, that
Yeah,
one I'm
have
keeping.
50
I'm just
billion
gonna put that in my. I'm gonna put my safe. I'm gonna put that in my personal safe. I assume I have one on board the ship. I'm keeping that head.
You do have a safe.
Excellent.
You're keeping. I give up on you, boss. I give up.
Shut up, woman. I like the new choice of music. I really do. Oh, by the way, I assume as soon as we get into the radius around this city, that it's essentially its wireless signal will be able to be picked. We'll be able to pick up its wireless signal for communications.
More than likely.
Because otherwise, I mean, I can't do shit without money, and I kind of need my info link for that.
Did we ever figure out what was blocking our signal? Did they blow up our antenna?
Yeah, as you go ahead and search through the ship, it's up above the bridge control. There's a series of antennae and other communications devices that were basically just completely riddled with bullets and very crudely disabled to the point where they are beyond repair.
Yep.
Okay. British Anthony, are you here?
Yep. Vaguely, anyway.
Alright, is everybody ready to get started again then?
No. We're never going to be ready.
Alright. It's a few hours before dawn as your ship lurches its way into the Sinoe Vietnamese port. You can see officials running back and forth on the deck as two escort ships have sort of sailed up alongside your ship as you're approaching the dock, and they start shouting through a microphone in Vietnamese at you. However, I don't believe any of you speak Vietnamese.
I have a universal translator.
You do.
Mhm.
Did you spring for the more expensive one? I forget.
Yeah, it didn't actually give a price for it, but I think the logic is I bought the most expensive one.
Okay. Then you and you alone, Evan, you hear absolute nonsense. Sounds like dogs barking in your ear. What have they done to your beautiful Cantonese, you know? But along the bottom of your screen, you see words start to appear, and they slowly fill in as the AI is trying to make sense of, you know, the waves and everything going around. They're very clearly repeating, "Turn around, turn around."
Okay, can we send a signal to shore?
Yes, you can. You can signal your crewmen to do that.
Okay. Is it a video link or just an audio link?
They send up a flag. Still done through flags. So
Really?
yes. So I will tell you what happens. You deliver the order to the crewmen who are still remaining on the bridge. There's one senior crewman left. And presumably, and actually not presumably, since you guys have had enough time to check, the captain is either dead or missing. When you went through all the bodies and everything, you just never found him.
Okay.
So, there is a box on the back of the bridge that has a bunch of series of flags, and the guy starts rifling through it. And he finally pulls up one that has a series of patterns on it, and they rig it all the way up so that the Vietnamese can see. It's an international symbol for SOS. Very easy to see.
Okay.
And the Vietnamese ships, they stop shouting at you, but they stay on either side of the ship as the clearly injured part of the front part of your hull sort of comes to rest inside the dock. You can kind of see why they were telling you to stop. The dock is a little bit too small for your ship. It's not really intended for oil tankers, but rolling for the AI here.
Please don't do a Jurassic Park. Please don't do a Jurassic Park. Please don't do a Jurassic Park.
Shut up, Anthony.
The ship creaks up against the dock, and you hear the loud groaning sound of steel rasping on steel as bits of the dock at the far end just start to lift back. But the contact between the two is actually quite gentle, and the ship comes to rest, and the friction between the two is actually holding the ship in place right now.
Oh, By the way, Bertrand, something that we definitely would have done because we're not fucking morons. There were a number of crates of guns and ammunition aboard the ship. They went over as well.
Okay.
I could hide them.
Well, no.
That's what I do.
There was a lot of them, and they're going to search the ship.
I was about to say, I thought you were going to buy them.
I mean, here's what you can do.
I'll
I
eat
mean,
the loss.
Sasori can order the men to chuck all of the weapons overboard, but if you would like to, as me, you can attempt to sleight of hand stash away some of them somewhere.
Yep, I've got smuggling, so I'll give that a quick roll.
Okay.
Nice! 9 out of 11.
Okay. So you managed to stow away 3 guns, let's say an automatic, a semi-automatic, and a very nice high-caliber pistol.
Nice.
Very good. So, do we extend the gangplank, or...?
Yeah, I mean, the remaining crewmen are sort of trying to motion you over, hoping, not you specifically, Evan, but the rest of your companions, to try and help with the rigging and sort of getting everything unraveled, getting the gangplank out, because there's not much of it left.
Okay.
So they explain to you what to do, and after a period of time, you're at least able to walk down the gangplank onto the dock, and they'll take care of the rest.
So myself, Asmi, and Anthony, I'm just going to call him Anthony, descend.
Okay. A thin, short Vietnamese man wearing significant telemetry over his head. He's got wires and various communication devices sticking out of his helmet, though he does not appear to be, at least on the surface, augmented. And he walks up to you and again begins speaking in his pidgin Japanese, it seems to you. But you're close enough now for the audio of your translator to kick in. And he says to you, "Ran into a bit of trouble there, sailor."
Indeed. My name, just so he can, no doubt as soon as I say my name, because I appear on the internet in several places. My name is Sasori Masuta, and we request the aid of your harbor.
Okay. You can see other men running from the control tower towards you, a few of which are armed. But the first thing that the man in front of you sort of looks over his shoulder and notices them coming, and then shuts up and motions for 1 second as he steps back for his superiors to come forward. And there's a man wearing a white suit and a sailor's hat, no visible augmentations of any kind, but he does have one arm that's sort of engraved and clearly augmented, though it doesn't seem to be for anything more than just looks. And he looks you in the eye, unsure who to talk to, and he says to you, in Mandarin, "Is anyone on board injured?"
Is there? I don't actually know at this point.
You've got... Yeah. There's one crewman who's been wounded but survived, and there's another crewman who took a shot to the leg.
Cuts and bruises, mostly. 1 or 2 serious.
He looks towards your ship and notices the large hole in it, and maybe even notices some of the bullet holes that you couldn't cover or remove, and says, "Who are you?"
My name is Sasori Masuta, chairman of Sumeragi Kai Industries.
"Will any of you submit to a bioscan?" he says.
What does that mean, Bertrand, for the uninitiated?
It's the modern form of identification. It combines things like retinal analysis, the arrangement of veins in your hands, things like that, to basically positively identify somebody almost all of the time.
Okay.
If you have
I'm sorry. Continue.
If you have alternate identity or zeroed, your alternate identity will show instead of yours.
Do any of you have like warrants out for you or anything like that?
I have no idea.
You don't. I was asking more so for Hawkins if he had any like outstanding warrants.
I would rather not get bioscanned.
In that case, Sasori will step up and say, "Of course, if it is formality."
Alright, you have alternate identity, Evan?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I want to show up as who I am because I have no outstanding warrants or anything on my head that I know of.
Alright. He looks the rest of you over and then he walks you back towards the control tower. the men behind him, some of whom are armed, asks you to wait in the waiting room, and one of them leads you over and escorts you there. It's a relatively secure facility on the inside, with a number of trained individuals all in uniform, and a few wooden chairs for you to sit on, some things to read, and a giant monitor in the corner for you to watch. Unless you decide to stop and prevent them, they were going to start boarding your ship now.
No, I'm not going to stop them.
Okay. All right. So the gentleman in the white suit takes you into another room and starts rifling through paperwork, and says, "Your ship didn't show on any of our records. Normally the transponder ship hits us from more than a mile out. Maybe that was caused by the damage," he says, looking up at you.
Very possible.
All right. Well, I've taken its name and number down. It's like a repurposed oil tanker. All right, step over here, he says. And you see a machine that is built into the walls that has two robotic arms sort of dangling from the center of it and a light on the top. There's clear glass windows that slide open, inviting you to step inside.
I'll step inside.
Okay. As you step inside, the machine begins to light up and the arms above begin to spin around you as they themselves light up. Your skin seems to luminesce a light transparent blue color, as after, I want to say about 30 seconds, your name and picture pops up on the screen with some information about you, your age, your nationality, etc. Up on the side of the monitor, and the doors open.
I calmly step through.
Sasori Masuda, Japanese national. What brings you to our port?
Desperation, unfortunately. We were attacked by pirates of some description, and this was the closest port of call.
Pirates? Any idea which pirates?
None, realistically. They attempted to commandeer my vessel. It is, after all, a valuable commodity.
We may be able to find that out for you. But for now, stay safe, stay comfortable. We're going to see what we can do for your ship.
Of course, I take it that you will not mind if I contact my contact my representatives in Japan to let them know that I am alive and well.
Right. Before my men complete their search and begin repairs, is there anything you want to tell me about this?
That I would rather, and he looks around, this be done off the record.
Right. He grins. That comes with a price.
No doubt you've already looked into who I am as an individual.
I do.
Name your price.
Well, the ship is not cheap, though it is an old one. I'll say 900,000 bulbs for repairs. Double that to look the other way and to leave your ship off the records.
Do I get the feeling from him that this is not a negotiable number?
You get the feeling he's made arrangements like these before and knows exactly what his price is.
Done.
He nods. Oh, that was easy then. We join the others in the waiting room.
He stands up and he says verbally, so his info link will pick it up. Do you have an account number you want the money transferred to? I'm a man who likes to get these things done quick and clean.
He looks at you for a moment and says, "Alright." And he reaches into his drawer, reaches underneath, one of his legal notebooks and produces a small business card, turns it over and writes a number of it on the bottom for you, and presents it to you to see, but he doesn't actually hand you the card.
Very well. I use my info link to register the number and transfer the. Somebody give me a number. It's 1.8 million. So it's 2.7 million.
900,000 plus, and plus double that would make it
18,000.
No, 18,000 plus. Yeah, 2.7 million.
Yep.
Transfer 2.7 million to this account.
Alright. The bank informs you that it will take about 2 hours to complete the transfer.
Very good.
So he looks at your eye is moving across the screen as an indication that you're using your info link, and he, on a sign from you, retrieves the card, tears it into small pieces, and throws it into a waste bin in the corner. He then gestures for you at the corner of the room.
Okay.
Alright. You exit the room, he follows behind you, and he does this to the guards that are still remaining in the waiting room. They clear out, leaving the rest of you in peace.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to make contact with Japan.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to send to my palace, or my castle, because yes, I have one of those. I'm going to request that they then contact me on a secure channel.
Okay. So, you dial over, the call goes through, it's answered by your number 2.
Mm-hmm.
He receives the message and hangs up.
Okay.
A few seconds later, you receive a call from a private number.
Okay, because they're all involved, I'm going to put each one of the players into the call, so they can, interact. Yep, I accept it.
Alright. Master, what has happened to the meeting? We did not see you at the rendezvous point.
Correct, the meeting was attacked.
By whom?
We do not know. I and my other guests are fortunately fine. My ship sustained heavy damage, and I currently find myself in name of place in Vietnam.
Sanoi.
Hanoi.
Sanoi. Alright. Well, we can get a plane out there for you if you need.
I'm going to look to the others and say, from here, mostly at Mr. James, but we'll ask the other player characters when we find them. Where do you wish to go from here, sir?
I'm here to see this through to the end, so wherever you're going and wherever...
well.
Man, my brain forgot his name already.
Who?
The other recipient of the deal. The one who's receiving my goods.
Lebedev.
Yep. Lebedev, yep. Wherever you and Mr. Lebedev end up, I'll be there.
Very good. Yes, scramble a plane for us immediately. Send some more security forces out to make sure that these Vietnamese do not pick my ship clean. However, I would like to get out of here as soon as possible.
Says alright. According to what I'm being told, the nearest private airport is in town, about 4 or 5 miles. Do you have transportation?
Transportation can be acquired.
Right.
On that topic, however, I want these individuals who staged this attack found. You cannot hire mercenaries to that degree and that professionality without leaving ripples. Offer substantial rewards to anyone who comes forward. I want their names and I want information.
Yes, sir, he says.
With that, I'll close the call.
Alright. As you're completing the conversation, the white-suited man walks into the room with a sheet of paper in his hands. This strikes you as somewhat anachronistic, old-fashioned, if you will, that he still uses paper for passing notes. And he looks it over and says, well, I have no idea who it was that committed piracy against your ship, but, well, there was something we were able to get off the computer, he says. And he turns the sheet of paper over to you, and it's a series of GPS coordinates. He says, that's where the ship was originally being routed to.
Where is it?
It's off the coast of Cambodia, he says. And there's more than a few pirates that make port in that area.
Huh.
I see. I thank you. What was your name?
Hanzo, sir.
Indeed. Well, if I shall ever need anyone trustworthy, and he says that in an ironic fashion, in this neck of the woods again, I shall know whom to call.
He bows almost curtsy in a way that again strikes you as old-fashioned and over-mannered, and sort of does this, and leaves the room.
I recommend we return to Kyoto, or return to Tokyo, gather a strike force, and go to these coordinates and, shall we say, have a reckoning?
Something that big might scare him off. If you want to find out who, before just blasting up the town and starting a fight with an entire city full of pirates, we should probably do it quietly.
He'll calmly shrug and say, "Indeed. However, my first priority is seeing to our general safety, and as polite as they have been, I cannot guarantee that here."
Fair enough.
And Fisa, you have a fair amount of tactical experience. Would you like to weigh in?
Not really.
Alright.
Tactical experience on sheet. Tactical experience not in brain of player.
Roll your soldier then, that's tactical experience, and then Bertrand helps you.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
right. Fuck.
You might want to also clear the dice. You've had those up for like ages.
I know. Fuck you. Okay, so that's 12.
What's your soldier base?
The base soldier is 13.
You make it.
Good work.
Looking at the GPS coordinates and comparing them against, you now have access to the net, and you're able to look them up and to get kind of a location, a very blurry satellite image of the region. It doesn't reveal much, but it is in a swampy area. There's a fair amount of untracked traffic going in and out by sea, which leads you to indicate that it would be very difficult to get a sizable group inside. I mean, both because of detection and because of simple transportation issues. It's a pretty harsh area to get into.
Right. I will advise that.
You may be able to bring a few soldiers with you if you can fit them in one transport.
And that's where I can come in handy. I can get people and places in unnoticed, so that's something we can do, but I can't smuggle a whole strike force.
Very good. One way or another, I think we need to return, re-equip, evaluate, and see what we want to make as our next step.
Sounds good to me.
Because we don't have, for example, we need to, I have an armory back home that I don't have access to here, Even if we can only smuggle in a few people, I think we should get them in with some very large guns.
Alright, I keep a little cash on hand for presents and toys I need on the road, but yeah, I like a full armory a little better.
Okay. I'm gonna call, what's the name of the guy in the white suit?
Hanzo.
I'm gonna call out to Hanzo and see if I can get him back in here.
Alright, Hanzo is standing on the deck outside your ship, just sort of looking up and just ferreting over his men, trying to make sure everything gets done right, because flip side of the coin with the money you just paid him is that he wants to make doubly sure that nothing goes wrong. When he sees your gesture, he hustles over to the door and, slightly out of breath, asks, "Yes, what can I do for you?"
We require transportation to the local airfield.
Right, of course. Talk to Garrett on the inside. Hey, over here, and he motions him. And sort of a Caucasian-looking man sticks his head out, looks at you, sort of stares for a minute, and then walks out. He says, "Garrett here will accommodate you. I have to return to my office."
Of course. Pleasure to have met you again, sir.
He nods and walks swiftly out of the room.
Garrett, was it?
Yes, transportation, was it?
Correct.
Alright, where will you be needing to go?
I'm trying to think, Bertrand. I mean, assuming they can scramble a private jet within an hour, because that's kind of how long it roughly takes to fuel a private plane and get it in the air on short notice. How far a flight will it be, even, to get from there to
that's
here?
like 4 to 6 hours minimum.
It's going to, well, knowing your organization as you do, the Sumeragi Kai do not have their own private jet. Not yet. They can charter one, but doing so is going to take a little bit of time to get through the paperwork. So the amount of time that it could take is variable. I would say at the least half a day to get here, perhaps more.
Very well. In that case, first we require accommodation for the evening, somewhere palatable.
Right, he says. Well, town nearby is lacking in palatable enterprises, but I think I can find you a decent place to stay on the outskirts. Let me see what I can find, he says. As he starts, his head sort of jerks up and his eyes narrow, and he starts gesturing like this as you assume that he is.
By the way,
going
you know,
through...
whenever you say you're making a gesture like something we can't see you over your overlay.
Oh, of course. Right, let me turn that off then. There we go.
Whoa, I'm not the only one making complete boobs.
Right, so he's his head snaps back like this and his eyes narrow, and he starts gesturing like this as he scans through different available accommodations. He points, he says, this one here has some decent reviews. It will be, let's see, composite total, I want to say 443 bulbs a night per room. One of you be sharing? How many rooms will you need?
Acquire us 3 rooms.
3 rooms, right. Well, would you just for you, or will your men be going with you?
Ah, yes. Actually, acquire us a floor of rooms.
Floor of rooms, okay. Some quick math. All right, I think I can get you a package deal for that. Let's call it at $52.19 for the floor. That's for one night.
Excellent. That'll do.
Okay. All right, he says. You're all booked here. They'll be expecting you.
Good.
Did you share your account information with Hansa?
I did.
Okay. Then I will get that from him. He says as his eyes narrow again, and he just sort of tilts his head back. There's a moment where you can see his jaw moving, sort of sub-vocalized. You can't hear what he's saying.
Bertrand, your mic just went really screwy. It like went really loud and then really quiet.
I'm sorry. Any better now?
Yeah, better now.
Okay. He sub-vocalizes for a bit, presumably in communication with Hanzo over his info link, and after a moment he nods and says, "Alright, that's all set."
Can you acquire us a car of some description to use in the interim?
Yes. An automated vehicle will be pulling up at around Dock 3. Do you know where that is?
We'll find our way.
Okay. It should be here in no less than 4 minutes, so I guess I'll be seeing you.
Have a good evening. Oh, by the way, take 100 bulbs yourself as tip.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. So.
With that, I'll turn to my oh wait, where are the rest of the crew? Because we have to kind of scoop them up.
Okay. As you exit the office building that you're in and go and return through the front doors facing your ship, you can see your crew sort of idling around the docks, and they sort of look up for instructions as you exit the room.
Gentlemen, I've acquired us the finest hotel this flea-ridden backwater has the finest hotel rooms this flea-ridden backwater has to offer.
They sort of nod to each other and sort of give a visible sigh of relief, showing through their traditional discipline, and they fall into line behind you all.
Very good. In that case, we shall go and wait for the car.
Okay.
Some people may be walking behind the car. I apologize for nothing.
So you wander forward up the docks. You're not exactly sure where Dock 3 is. There isn't any particular signage, but you can see rather a somewhat cramped automated vehicle pull up, and the doors automatically slide open and out for you as a second car pulls up behind it.
Okay. In that case, I'll go in the first car with Anthony. And then Hawkins, you go and 1 or 2 of my men, and then you take the second car, Hawkins, and go with 1 or 2 of the men. Is that okay by everyone?
Yeah, that sounds
good.
Just in case one of the cars gets hit by anything, there's somebody capable in there.
Okay. So, seating arrangements assigned, you step into the car, and as the last person steps in, the car sort of weighs down a little bit on the wheels, but still continues to stay operable. And a pleasant voice greets you and says, "Hello, we'll be taking you to the following hotel. Please enjoy your visit and stay." And then a map pops up with your estimated time of arrival, your current location, and the route you'll be traveling to. And with a chime, seatbelts sort of come around your waist, and both vehicles speed off in unison, off into the night. You make your way to the hotel. Check-in's not a problem. The rooms are quite accommodating for this area, although for those of you who are not from the east, they seem rather small. And there's this unusual thing called a bidet in the back room that some of you have not seen before. So, you have now, the first time in a long while, to take stock of the situation, relax, rest, and muse on your own survival and the things that you did to assure it. And with that, we're going to call an end to Session 2. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Woo!